ready? Woo! Well, alright. Yeah, they want me to fit in, but I can't. I'm too different with it, too advanced to think. You know my intuition. I got bars and ink, but never in a prison. Too far gone, never gonna sit and listen. This is optimism mixed with the best. You get it? What you're seeing is a beast in the flesh. I'm vetted up. I don't need to try to speak for the rest. Always keep it abrupt. They wanna keep it a mess, you know. This is what you get when you're sitting as a vet. But everybody know that you're a threat. With the rest, let's go. We won't fit in a box. We don't quit, we won't stop. Ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your, we won't fit in your, we won't fit in your box. No, we don't quit, we won't stop. No, ride us all to the top. Whoa. We won't fit in your box. No. Look, I try to tell you we don't fit in your box. Why you try to box me and I got the key to unlock? I know the locksmith, optics, speak of the lots. I'm eating lobster, chopsticks, freaking the boss, you know. I'll never fit in where I go at. Boss talk like I'm Boaz. Why fit in when you know you can stand out still? They remember you more when you hand out deals. Let's go. We won't fit in your box. We don't quit, we won't stop. Ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your, we won't fit in your, we won't fit in your box. No, we don't quit, we won't stop. No, ride us all to the top. Whoa. We won't fit in your box. No. Don't box me in. I do my own thing. Spirit is right within. I got my own way. Father is loud within. Look at the way that I do my ops again. Oh, better let me loose. You know that I got the juice. Everything I got to do. Words that I speak out my mouth, I gotta move. Oh, oh, we can't fit in your box. We too cold to get low. We won't fit in your box. We don't quit, we won't stop. Ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your, we won't fit in your, we won't fit in your box. No, we don't quit, we won't stop. No, ride us all to the top. Whoa. We won't fit in your box. No. Thank you, Ben, for coming out tonight. My name is Sanhok. Let's go. know the locksmith, optics, speak of the lots, I'm eating lobster, chopsticks, freaking the boss, you know. I'll never fit in where I go at. Boss talk like I'm Boaz. Why fit in when you know you can stand out still? They remember you more when you hand out deals. Let's go. We won't fit in your box. We don't quit, we won't stop. Ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your, we won't fit in your, we won't fit in your box. No, we don't quit, we won't stop. No, ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your box. Don't box me in. I do my own thing. Spirit is right within. I got my own way. Father is not within. Look at the way that I do my ops again. Oh, better let me loose. You know that I got the juice. Everything I got to do. Words that I speak out my mouth, I gotta move. Oh, we can't fit in your box. We too cold to get on. We won't fit in your box. We don't quit, we won't stop. Ride us all to the top. We won't fit in your, we won't fit in your, we won't fit in your box. No, we don't quit, we won't stop. No, ride us all to the top. Whoa. We won't fit in your box. No. Thank you, Ben, for coming out tonight. My name is Son of Augusta. Let's go.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. شوت M24
في همام للقوة للانتصار من زكريا.
كروس جيمنج وحش وحش وحش.
والسلام عليكم ورحمة من الله.
Well, you heard it there. Wassalamu alaikum. Welcome, everyone. It is time for day number 4, phase 3. And it is going to be an absolutely insane day. We've been seeing a lot of movement, a lot of shaking coming through with regards to the standings, with regards to those leaderboards. And as we step into the lovely Erangel day, there's going to be quite a bit of opportunity for a lot of that sweaty play to continue the trend and to see where these teams are going to be placing, where they're going to be ending up after yet another very exciting day of action. Of course, excited to be here and looking forward to seeing what these teams are going to be bringing to the battlefield. But of course, I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking as well. All right, so hit us up in the chat to let me know what your thoughts are. Who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out today? I mean, yesterday we had a very crazy performance coming through from the side of NIGMA, of course, finishing at the top of the day with a lovely 49 points. We also then had GEEKAY coming in on 44, W7 coming in on 37, and then, of course, the players from RTG and NASR ending on 33 and 31 points respectively. So a very, very exciting day. So much has happened. But, of course, as we get ready now to jump into day 4, this is where we get to take a bit of a look and see what these teams are going to be bringing into this final phase and who is going to be looking to secure themselves a position up in the top 12 for this phase. And then, of course, who's going to be locking in that top 16 position to make it through into the finals. So, again, a lot out on the table here. The team's really going to have to pack in quite a bit of a punch here, I would say, today, right? They're having to work considerably hard to secure those points because as we were talking about yesterday, right, we do have a bit of a fight, a bit of contention coming through for that 16th position. So there's going to be a lot of room for back and forth to be played for, especially looking at the positions that we had with regards to those placements. I mean, 14th, 16th, only 3 points currently separating those 3 positions. So it's all going to come down to what these teams are going to be bringing out onto the battlefield. Of course, as I was saying, NIGMA, they were just having a phenomenal run. Very, very aggressive across the board. We did see that lovely 23-pointer game coming through. But, well, if you recall, that was all thanks to the players from GEEKAY, not exactly NIGMA. I mean, but, also quite excited to see what NIGMA is going to be bringing through. I mean, looking at the performances that they had yesterday, the first match of the day, it was okay. Right, definitely looking to build up a lot more of that momentum as they push through, securing themselves that winner chicken dinner over on match number 3. Moving into match number 2, also showing some great consistency, securing those 8 eliminations. But then, well, up in the last one, as we know, they weren't exactly playing the last match. Because that is just the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, NIGMA, 3rd place finish overall on the leaderboard yesterday, all the way back in match number 1. So that does make me quite excited to see what the teams are going to be bringing through here. But of course, looking at today being an Erangel day, we could have quite a bit of a setup, right? There could be so many teams looking to step up and just looking to blow us away with some amazing, amazing performances. Now, as we work our way through our teams, be sure to let me know in the chat who you are here to support, right? So give your team a shout out. Show that support. So let's see who's got the most supporters here. Already can see a few shout outs coming through there for the side of IKURD. And, well, yeah, that's the only parts that I can understand and read. So curious to see exactly who you guys are here to support. Of course, moving into Erangel, NIGMA Galaxy, they are the team to beat, currently sitting with 190 points, 4 winner chicken dinners, 118 eliminations. I mean, that is just ridiculous, right? An immense amount of points that they've been able to lock in so far. So it is going to be quite a bit of a chase. Of course, one of the other teams that we were looking at yesterday was the side of NASR W7, also showing really great consistency, being able to finish strong, especially in those last matches of the day. And if you remember, right, all the way back on yesterday, we also did see that W7 winner chicken dinner coming in. So they've definitely set their expectation, all right, of what we could potentially be having come through from their end. And that winner chicken dinner came through over on Miramar. So, I mean, it's not exactly as applicable for today, seeing that we are going to be having only one. But, you know, the opportunity is there. So we are open to surprises, as these teams will have a bit of an opportunity to show us exactly what their approach is going to be. So we'll definitely be seeing W7 play over on towards that lovely Miramar once we get to that point. But of course, another team that we're going to be looking at here as well is the side of NASR. I mean, they had a pretty decent run yesterday as well. Finishing day, as I've already mentioned, on 31 points. Coming very, very close to securing themselves a winner chicken dinner. But unfortunately, not having enough fuel left in the tank to push all the way through to pull it off. So who knows? Maybe a bit of an Erangel day could be exactly what the team like NASR needs now to bring in that increase in their overall performance. I mean, NASR, they are yet to find a winner chicken dinner when it comes to Erangel. They are, of course, held within the top 6 with regards to their overall performance. Currently sitting on 125 points with 96 eliminations and 29 placement points. So NASR not shy when it comes to spraying, right? Aside from NIGMA sitting on 118 points, NASR are the second most aggressive team when it comes to the map of Erangel, right? The only other team that comes close to them is going to be the side of GEEKAY that find themselves currently on 91 eliminations. So NASR definitely setting that bar, setting that expectation pretty high. But, well, they need to try and secure those placement points as well. So, especially looking at their proficiency when it comes to Erangel, I think this is a golden opportunity for NASR to do exactly that. Of course, a few other teams that we are going to be looking at as well is going to be the side here of the ARB champions as well as Triple. As you can see, their average eliminations, their average damage counters coming through there. So pretty steady and sturdy stats across the board, right? Try saying that 5 times fast. Steady and sturdy stats. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But of course, as we know, Triple, I mean, they've also really tried to up the ante. Looking at the amount of points that they were able to secure coming through in towards yesterday. I mean, they did secure 14 points in total, so yeah, they could definitely do with a few more. Looking for a bit of an opportunity to lock it in. ARB also with 15 points for the day, so yeah, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough one for them. But who knows? Maybe day 4 could be exactly what these teams need to flourish. I mean, NASR, not looking bad with regards to the phase. Also looking at the side here of ARB, I mean, they are sitting on a grand total of 56 points, currently secured all the way down towards that 16th position. But I mean, if ARB really puts the focus in today, we could see them venturing over into a little bit of that Livik, maybe in tomorrow's matches. So there's a lot out on the table. So much change that can come through. ARB stats also then when it comes to the side of Erangel. They are sitting with 78 eliminations, so definitely not shy with regards to that aggression. Comparing that to what we see come through from the side of Triple. Triple, they have a slightly different situation happening on their end. I mean, they've got only 64 eliminations, so definitely ARB a lot more aggressive when it comes to the map of Erangel. But the opportunity is there, right, for both teams to change those statistics, also to secure their very first winner chicken dinners when it comes to Erangel. So I'm excited, right? I'm excited. I want to see what our teams are going to be bringing out here today. If you agree, let me know. If you don't, also let me know why you wouldn't be excited. I'm not quite sure, though. But either which way, thank you for being here, right? We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Of course, well, we are going to be taking a look at a few more things, right? We need to take a look at the phase leaderboard to see exactly where the teams are with regards to those points and, you know, just how big of a gap there is and how much work they need to put through. Who knows, potentially we could even be taking a look at the overall rankings. So, in the meanwhile, we are going to be looking over on towards Ragnar and Hope here, who's been bringing in a pretty consistent performance. You can see Hope, well, restoring quite a bit of a hope in the GEEKAY force. Not that they need hope, but, you know, it's there. It is definitely there. An average of 1.26 eliminations coming through for Hope. Of course, walking away with 255. Just a little bit more than what we see for the side there of Ragnar. But this is all with regards to the Erangel performances. Right, so not their overall play. Especially this being a Erangel heavy day, you know, this is very appropriate because this gives us a bit of an idea as to what we could expect to see come through here. I mean, GEEKAY, though, we got to say, 23 eliminations in one single match. That's insane. Now, we've seen a play like that. I believe it was, I think the ONYX Ravens did that on a Miramar map. I think so, right? If they did it on Miramar, then we still have to see an insane performance like that come through over on Erangel. So who knows? This could be exactly what we are in for. But yeah, a lot is going to be coming out here. So for the first match, of course, we are going to be heading into a little bit of that Erangel action to see exactly what the teams are going to be bringing in. Then we're going to add in a bit of Miramar spice, right? Then a double dose of Erangel, and then, of course, even more Sanhok. So yesterday we started the day on Sanhok. Today we're ending the day on Sanhok. Tomorrow we've got Sanhok just crammed in the middle, right? You got to find it somewhere, of course, to put that in pictures. Here we go. So as you can see, we have Erangel, Miramar, double dose, and then we venture over into the last little bit, over into Sanhok, for the teams to blow off a bit of steam, to see exactly where they can get themselves and how that performance is going to unfold, and maybe just blow up, right? Because that's what we want to see. We want to see teams going absolutely crazy. But yeah, here we are taking a look at the averages that we've got so far. Looking to give us a bit of an idea as to what these teams could be looking to play for. And of course, our top performers, our top players here, Lord, Coops, Crypto, Xenox, Gaith. It is very, very tight across the board, but especially looking quite favorable here for Lord. As you can see, just an immense amount of damage, a pretty strong consistency with regards to those eliminations. So again, right, so much to look forward to as these players are going to be stepping up, showcasing a lot of that talent. So do you think we are going to be having another insane run here today? Maybe seeing a 23, 22 elimination play coming through? Do you think it could potentially be something different? Curious to hear what your thoughts are, but of course, be sure to let me know in the chat. Also, if you've got any predictions as to the outcome of this day, let me know. What's up, boys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just in time, right before we get this party underway. And what a party it is going to be here today. A good look back again at seeing just how exactly these teams were able to secure themselves such dominating positions throughout all our Erangels that we've had so far. Now, of course, up to this point, we've taken a look at quite a few Erangels, right? We've seen 25 of them. But the teams, well, they've played 20 on average. But here we go as we do load up the action yet again. All those lovely replays. Come on, come on. There we go. Right back into the swing. So the update coming through there. NIGMA Galaxy currently just holding on to the lead with regards to those points. Of course, the prediction accuracy coming through from the Arabian casters, right? So Almola, I think, is going to be the one to watch to see whether or not they are going to be on the money here today with those plays. But there's going to be a pressure spot, right? A little bit of that cooking brewing here. But of course now, so ONYX Ravens got that performance. Oh, okay, it was on Erangel. There we go. I just had to double check my facts, right? Before I start spitting stuff out, and then it turns out I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so ONYX Ravens, they've got 22 eliminations on Erangel. We did see that insane Sanhok performance come through. 23 eliminations just yesterday. So it only leaves Sanhok to be the map that needs to get a lot of that domination, right? We need to see a 20+ elim game. Is it going to happen today? I don't know. We'll find out once we get all the way to the end of the day, because it's only going to happen in match number 5. Tomorrow we're going to find out in match number 4. So, you know, there could be a few surprises yet to come on in. But yes, Sanhok, the only one that is yet to receive a 20+ chicken play. Are we going to get it? I sincerely hope so. Alright, so I see some questions coming through with regards to Brute Force's position. Now, looking at where they find themselves with regards to the phase, Brute Force, I was about to say they're quite far down, and I realized I was looking at the day yesterday, not the overall play. I mean, they're currently situated in the 14th position, so there is an opportunity for them to secure a play up into the top 12. They're only trailing by about 5 points. So, as we know, that is very, very much achievable. Looking at their overall positioning with regards to the leaderboard, the overall standings, of course, they are sitting in 11th place with 301 points. So, I think it would be safe to say that Brute Force have a very, very high chance of making it through into the finals. Again, it's all going to come down to how the teams play today and tomorrow. But I don't think that Brute Force is going to get caught very, very easily, right, with regards to the leaderboards. But there's going to be only one way to figure out, right? We need to see how these teams are going to be looking to play it through. But as we know, I see a few questions coming through now with regards to MEA. Yes, there is going to be MEA. It is going to happen after PMPL Africa comes in. So, yeah. Yeah, we are going to be seeing our top teams performing yet again. As we know, a few teams from here, the top few teams are going to be moving forward into that next stage, into the MEA Championship. Of course, joined by the top teams coming through from Africa. And then it's going to be a fight to the finish to see who's going to be locking in the most points. And, of course, as we know, PMGC, there's so many other things that are yet to come on in as well. So, very, very excited. NASR's position with regards to the overall, they are in 15th position. 3 points behind 14th, and of course 1 point ahead of 16th. So 243 points, that is what they've got. 246 is towards W7 in 14th. And then, of course, Triple sit with 242, right? So it's going to be a pretty tough day, especially looking at those three teams trying to decide who fits in where. But then as we drop down 22 points from 16th into 17th position, that is where we find the players from ARB Champions, then followed closely by CONQUEROR Iraq as well as KR, and then, of course, NEXT. So, realistically, I think ARB Champions and CONQUEROR Iraq, potentially even KR, they have an opportunity here to get themselves up into that top 16, right? But it's all going to come down to what the mentality and the approach is coming through from the side of Esports, because if ARB, CONQUEROR, KR can catch up to Triple, that's them in trouble because they could get relegated. But of course, the trouble doesn't stop there, right? NASR, W7, very similar situation here. So it's going to be a pretty sweaty day, especially looking at what these teams will bring in for today. And of course, then moving into our final day of league stage, which is going to be tomorrow. And then, of course, after that, we only have 2 days before we get into the finals. Right, so we're not even taking a big break. It's just like we drop and go, whoop, right? Very exciting stuff happening here as the teams will have so much grinding to do. But I think once we get into the finals, that is where we are going to be looking at a few new teams, right? Not new names, not new players, just the way that the teams then perform moving into the finals. We've seen that time and time again be quite the contrast, right? Teams holding back to some extent with regards to league, and then when they step into the finals, it's just supplies, and then whoop, off they go, right? So yeah, a lot is going to happen here. But, well, speaking about a lot, right, there is one more thing that is yet to come. That is going to be our first match of the day. So if you've got any predictions with regards to Flight Path, with regards to Zone, any predictions for this very first match? Even potentially, who do you think is going to be the first team out? Let me know in the chat as we are getting ready to hop on in to see exactly what the Flight Path is going to be bringing on through. And here we go. It is go time. Alright, so that Flight Path seems to be leaning a little bit more towards the south. Alright. So far, smooth sailing. As the teams will have a bit of an opportunity here to get themselves situated, to get themselves spread out. And potentially even maybe rotate up north. But that is going to be heavily dependent on what the Zone is going to be doing. So will the Zone take a bit of an aggressive shift up north? Is it going to stay down on towards the southern side? Flight path to Zaki. No, it's down south. I can see why you would say that, but Yeah, this is not exactly that point. But a nice bit of an upset here coming through with regards to the flight path. Curious to see how the teams are going to be looking to recuperate their positions from this point moving forward. As this flight path does present a few challenges. I mean, obviously you can still reach into that center zone. But the position's a little bit further up north. Are going to be quite challenging. Well, we do see a bit of the island being in play there. That lovely Sosnovka military island. Then further across the way, it is going to be essentially then centered up on towards Quarry. So that is going to be a very favorable start, especially coming through for a team like Quest R8. Well, based on their current positioning. But as we know, Quest, sometimes they like to venture down into those far reaches. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Rio and Kante now playing hide and seek. But it seems like Rio is going to give up that one, at least for the time being. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe they're keeping an eye on Kante. He's like, oh, you're running? Sure. We'll come get you. Oh, no, I think Rio went back to go grab a weapon. We see anything, Rio not just searching the horizon, looking for a bit of opportunity. Over there on the left, Rio. Left. Wrong left. That left. Oh, Kanze might actually be picking up a weapon. Yes, they do have a pistol. That was definitely a bit of ringer rosies. Yes, sir. Let's see how proficient Kante is going to be with that pistol. Pistol versus buggy. The buggy definitely outweighs the pistol, but the rounds coming out of that pistol is moving much quicker, much faster. But here we go. Oh. Gansei defending with a pistol. Wow, the rest of Quest now just rushing in to consolidate the situation. And there we go, the knocks are in. But you got to give it up though to Gansei. I mean, not running away, instead just holding their ground. Actually managing to pop a few hits in. RTG not down to a two-piece. Ringer Rosie Choo Gaming. Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll go for it either which way. In the meanwhile, the rest of the teams are going to be looking to get themselves now properly looted up before starting their rotations, heading up in towards the zone. Quest now looking to play up into... I'm not quite sure where they're looking to go. I mean, it looked like they were heading up into a little bit of that... they got gut positioning. But then again, not quite, right? We do have Alejandro much closer towards center zone. Maybe we could see Quest now pulling all the way into Quarry. They got taken with the Uzi. See, I only saw the pistol. Right, there was so much happening. I was sitting here looking at the map, and it was like, oh. Such fun. Let's see now. NASR going to be making their rotation as they head on into zone. We got the lovely Pachinki just a little bit further up ahead, over on towards that eastern side. Well, north from where we see J7. But also just on their right? Those hills just up ahead, that is going to be the spot to aim for. As we know, NIGMA, they've got themselves already very well positioned within the lovely Pachinki. And I mean, they're not going to have to move, well, not just yet. In the meanwhile, IKURD not trying to evade a little bit of that Yasnaya Poliana as they push further up north. So let's see where exactly IKURD are going to be looking to pull into. I mean, looking at the options they have, they could definitely go for like a South George, a little bit of Everest, maybe Ruins. Anything within that region. It's going to be an uncontested rotation coming through from their side. Of course, depending on how they rotate. Alright, in the meanwhile, Triple on the edge as we saw there. Slime Machine just a little bit further behind them. So Triple not having as safe a position as they might initially think. But again, it was Slime Machine now rotating up. They could entirely miss the side there of Triple. But looking what we have with regards to those points, it is gonna be a slightly more important play now to come through here, as the teams are still gonna be trying to secure as many points as they can possibly find. The Gangsters surprisingly low with regards to those standings. We'll see them appear on that last page. Yeah, there they are, all the way in 18th with 38 points. I mean, that's a little bit strange. Not quite sure what the approach is, but we do have them in this match, so they have the opportunity to try and rectify that. Of course, they find themselves all the way towards that far, far western side right now, rotating up in towards Primorsk. Twisted, on the other hand, they are down on that southern island, rotating away from the radar tower. If they push straight east, they could find themselves bumping into a little bit of that ARB action. Oh, Vigo coming if I'm offline. Alright, we'll take it. What's up, Soldier Boy? Welcome back. Wassalamu alaikum. Probably need to learn how to say hello in a few other languages as well. But in the meanwhile, speaking about hello, that is exactly what the gangsters are going to be looking to say here. They say it in the PUBG way as they come through with a bit of a spray. See, this you can translate into so many different languages, right? The bra, bra, daga, daga. That's it. That's how you say hello in PUBG. Ooh. Oh, Jafar getting into this. The vehicle pulls on through. Steezy. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be an end for them as well. I mean, I guess that's kind of what happens when you run someone's teammate over. Meanwhile, 13 now trying to defend as they do find Walsh. Gangster's going to be having a pretty tough time getting out of this one. But A Buddy is going to be dipping out to the west, looking to play for that longevity. I mean, NIGMA reminds me of one of those people that are a little bit groggy in the morning, right? Not a morning person. That's NIGMA, right? If you come up to them very early on and you say hello, and then they're like, ah, and then it's a lot of lead. And also potentially the lobby. R8 Quest, the NASR, as well as the Gangsters getting their shoutouts here for a potential victory, potential winner-winner chicken dinner. But yes, as we know, only a select few teams will be allowed that opportunity to move through into the next event. It might either be like the top 6 or the top 10 or the top 8. I think maybe like top 8, top 10. That could make a lot more sense. That is who I think will be moving through into the MEA Championship. How many teams will be going to the PMGC? Ooh. Well, I'm not the one deciding how the PMGC rules work, right? But from what we know is at least the top team with regards to points are going to be allowed to qualify for at least the group stage of the PMGC, but then there are several other ways. In the meanwhile, there's no other way here for Lord to secure that elimination other than coming in with a bit of a spray. Slime Machine, they're not going to be backing off. There's only 2 players left now for NIGMA. Krups and Lord going toe-to-toe here with Fashe and Attacker. Now, I mean, if I was Slime Machine, I would be feeling a little bit more confident, seeing that Fashe is still up, seeing that Fashe has been able to be such a nuisance. So, yeah. Let's see if Fashe is going to be able to continue with that trend. Slime Machine also now back onto a 3-piece. So the MEA Championship will be after PMPL Africa. Usually about 2 weeks after the last PMPL of the region. Ooh, there we go. So last season we had Africa first, then Arabia. Now we've got Arabia first, then Africa. In the meanwhile, Twisted Minds, they're not going to be waiting till later. They are getting ready to jump right down into the action. As you can see, that zone now starting to close on up as well. It was leaning a little bit more on towards Quarry, but it seems like it changed its mind as the zone is going to pop. Ooh, there we go. Quest now with a beautiful bit of a setup. Twisted and ARB still going to be fighting relentlessly on that bridge. Let's see what the South is going to bring on through. We've still got Sly, RTG, Triple, NASR, R8, KR, and of course a buddy coming through for the Gangsters. Ooh, in the meanwhile, Brute Force getting a little bit run over by NEXT. If you can see that feed, but AZ now getting tested. Up comes ARB, saying that this is their bridge. And Twisted need to find another way to come across. That is going to leave Crypto to be the last one left, of course. It's also going to be Brute Force to get sent away. I only just realized that NIGMA got taken out. Well, I mean, talk about an upset, right? So NIGMA definitely not going to be having a good run to start off the proceedings here today. Only 1.2 their name. A slight bit of a change-up. But we love these upsets. The teams continue to surprise us with their capabilities. In the meanwhile, it's going to be R8 up in the compound. Looking to do their thing. We got KR just on the hill behind them. Hey, we got so many more people joining us in the chat. If you are here, if you're watching, give us a wave. Give us a shout. Right, and yes, if you're curious, I can read the chat. I am looking at the chat. If ARB wasn't there, they could have taken good position. Yeah. But unfortunately, well, they got to take what they are dealt. In the meanwhile, it is going to be up to the side here of GEEKAY pushing through on the eastern side. Trying to figure out if there's anyone in the compounds up ahead. I mean, Ragnar already giving the clear, so they can now securely rotate in. Shayo saying, Zorn, why? Why are you being like this? I mean, I guess I don't know, right? That is going to be that's actually a very good question, right? Why does the Zorn not favor Twisted? I mean, maybe because the Zorn is unbiased. I think that's maybe the thing, right? Who knows? Who knows? But what we do know is that there's going to be quite a bit of noise now being made over on this southern side of Zone. KR now trying to hold on steady. Oh, Raver getting whooped out of that buggy. I mean, they tried, but well, maybe they should try again as they will get taken out in 14th. Crypto all alone, so sad. I mean, you know, Crypto's not gonna go sit in a little corner somewhere. They are gonna go driving instead through the zone, knocking on the door there of Quest, looking to see if they could maybe give them a a cup of water or something, just a little bit of something. But I think Quest instead will respond instead of kindness, right? They are gonna send a little bit of lead their way. Hey, buddy, on the open. Oh, run. Nice play, though. Flashing taking quite a bit of damage. Down they go. Hey, buddy, you need to patch up. Attacker is going to do what Attacker does. League stage is 3 weeks for this PMPL. It's not the same all across the board for all the different PMPLs, but this one, League Stage, 3 weeks, right? This is the second last day. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of League Stage. So there's a lot that needs to happen in these next few days. Meanwhile, hey, buddy, yeah. Good night. Gangsters picking up 2 points. Attacker picking up their teammate. And 4 eliminations. I mean, Attacker has it all at this point, right? Aside from a position away from Blue. But they have to drop their teammate to get them rezzed. Fortunately, the Blue is not going to be doing too much damage just yet. Will do, however, say goodbye to Twisted. As Crypto met their end. Now, GEEKAY coming under a bit of fire, which is odd. Flashe has been re-knocked. Ooh. Things are looking pretty sweaty. R8 also finding themselves in a bit of a crash, a bit of a clash. Santa getting knocked. So Gaith and Santa now trying to hold steady towards the north. The rest of the team situated down south. Yeah, I mean, Crypto is essentially a team on their own, right? So when you look at a team like Twisted, there's actually 7 players, right? The 4 players of Crypto, and then the 3 other people that fill the rest of the slots. So that it looks decent, right? Not really, but yes. Let's see what we got coming through here as IKURD are going to be holding on to nice spot over on towards that northeastern side. R8 finding a bit of a play, and of course Vigors doing their thing as they ran right over Escaton. Just backing them up and shipping them away. Alright, so Slime Machine at least walking away with 6 eliminations up. I mean, they've been having a very good run so far. So let's see where the rest of the lobby is going to take this one to. ARB Quest already up on 5 elims apiece. So it does seem like that aggression is paying off quite a bit. But where are we now? We are going to be making it up into those later few stages as the zone does move a little bit more towards that southern side. So again, not an overly aggressive shift coming through. But NASR going to be the first one to take the plunge as they push for middle. Ooh. And that could be a formidable position to play off of. You can see very exposed, not a lot of positions to hide in. Meanwhile, it's going to be the place here from Vision and NEXX all the way up north. Oh, getting into a bit of an exchange, a bit of an altercation. Lead flying in both directions. See if Topok can reach in. Ooh, coming very close. Playing a bit of a scare tactics. Right. But will we see NEXX now actually flinch? As they are just staring down these utilities as they continue to fly on through. Both teams actually have the opportunity here to disengage and get themselves positioned a little bit closer towards that zone. But now with them making so much noise here, this actually opens up the opportunity for a team like Quest to sneak in those sprays. As you can see up on the minimap, a lot of that lead now heading up north. KR also going to be pushing down onto the side of R8. Down on that southern edge. Ooh, Vigors again coming through with a bit of that call play. Ooh, Vision now knocking on the door. Let's see what the response from Quest is going to be, as it is a very fair trade on either side. Both teams suffering a few knocks. Oh, here we go. It's a 1v2. Bolt playing a very aggressive position here. That is going to be the end of NEXX. I thought almost for a second that was the side of Quest, but Quest still holding on with Fahidan and Easy. And with that, it is the end of the road. I mean, Easy with a very effortless nade, then just to slam that door in their face. Down to the final 7 we go. So we are left with Quest, ARB, GEEKAY, IKURD, KR, NASR, and then of course Triple. So roundabout now, I would say, is a good point to make a prediction as to who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out. Take into account, we've got 4 teams with 4 players up. And then we've got 3 sets of duos trying to make the most of what they've got to work with here. So if you've got any predictions, now would be the time to let me know. Hassan and Vigors very quiet on that southern edge. Already 6 eliminations to their name. NASR triple yet to find a few points. IKURD, even with 4 players, only have 1 elimination. So they could also do with a healthy dose of aggression getting applied from their end. GEEKAY now going to have a pretty tough time to rotate up. You see them not really having the easiest bit of access into this next zone. Result has been spotted out, but as has Santos. The shots right on down Sanhok, locking it in. And that is GEEKAY now just saying hey to Santa as they come in for a bit of a pickup. Them not trying to reach in with the utility. Result not going to be giving up that position just yet, but Hope and Ragnar now having to abandon their position as the vehicle goes up in flames and Ragnar goes right back to that lobby. Hope also caught in a very tough position. It is essentially down to Gaith and Santa to see if they can maybe clutch it out, but they are going to be looking to aggress their way onto the side here of Triple, looking for that play, that follow through, that cleanup. Beautiful bombardment here with the utility. Yay! And there we have it. Triple gets ended. Out they go. 6th place. 7th. Wow. Unfortunately for Triple, not a single point to their name. Aside from placement. Now ARB going to be creeping up on the side of KR. Hassan, Vigors, proving to be quite a formidable force already so far. We've seen Vigors take down many a player here today. All of that with the vehicles, right? Ooh. Alright, nice utility coming through. There we go. The opening is up on towards Ricard. Hey, Vigors yet again does it. Looks to find Smoker, misses the initial push. Let's see if this will result in a few more additional eliminations for NASR. Well, the answer is yes, as they are now up to 3 with Xenox and Spec. That is going to be a beautiful duo loadout. KR, they don't have that luxury anymore. They are down to a solo as the confirmation is in. ARB going to be looking to pick up a bit of momentum here as well. Osama just flying down the hillside. But again, a very difficult position to play. No real cover to make much use of in the zone. So Quest, IKURD, NASR, GEEKAY. A little bit of KR, and then of course ARB. Who's going to be the one to lock it in though? I mean, Quest already up on 8 eliminations. KR now down to no more players. They will get stopped, at least walking away with 7 eliminations to their name. So the race is on. Looking at the momentum that KR is bringing through, they are definitely trying their utmost to try and catch up to that top 16th in the overall rankings. Meanwhile, GEEKAY, they could essentially kind of maybe sit back, relax. Well, not really. I mean, only 2 points ahead of NIGMA. I mean, this is excluding the current match points, right? Quest now starting to look, starting to push, looking to see where they can maybe squeeze themselves in. Currently sitting with 62 points on board for the phase. I mean, they are essentially the gatekeepers, right? Obviously, that is going to be a little bit different at the top of the screen as we're about to see that. Yes, Quest now up onto 9th, so they've already jumped up 3 positions. ONYX Ravens now being the gatekeepers. But as we know, they are not here in this lobby. It's a nice little bit of a change coming through. Santa, though, getting traded. Gaze now having to try and hope that they can survive into the last few moments, as we only have 4 teams remaining. NASR down to 2. GEEKAY potentially also down to 2. Oh, well, I mean, they definitely are on 2. They might be down to 1. Quest still looking very, very confident here, holding on to 4 players, the full squad. Now, usually, when a team comes into this stage of the game and they still have the full squad up, there's a very high chance that they could take that winner chicken dinner. But we've seen that go the other which way, right? We've also had it where a squad like this has been reduced to 2 and then to none. But the standoff holds. Kante essentially sent the zone. Osama and Tok just on the very edge of that. Gaith yet to make a bit of a play here. Caught on the wrong side of the zone. As you can see up at that mini-map. Gaith all the way over towards that far eastern side, right? And that is the fastest side that we have for the zone. As the blue is going to be closing on in, constricting the options. Doc now getting met with quite a bit of lead. Let's see, will Kante be able to lock this one down with the rest of their squad? Doc now getting taken into small little itty-bitty pieces. But nade does come very, very close, but unfortunately that is going to be the end of the road. ARB out with 8. So we got NASR sitting on 3 eliminations, GEEKAY sitting on 8. And then we got the players from Quest sitting on 11 eliminations so far. A lot of work now being done here by Quest, already securing the 12th one. That is the end of GEEKAY. Now it is only NASR having to contest against the side of Quest, but with the sprays, with the numbers leaning in favor here of Quest. Oh, it's going to be them in trouble. And that is exactly what happens. Quest secures themselves the victory. NASR having to settle for 2nd place. But a good finish nonetheless. Good play across the board. NASR earning themselves a few much needed points with regards to their positioning, but again, a lot of excitement coming through as you know, that kind of that was a very, very strong play coming through from Quest. You got to give it to them, and also then closing it off with, I believe, 14 eliminations. Very, very impressive stuff coming in here. I love the discussion that you guys are having in the chat as well, right? I love it. I love it. But yes, good to see, good to see, good to see. So, yeah, the team's off to a really good start for the first match of the day. As we know, moving into game number 2, Group E are going to be joining us on the battlefield. Group B are going to be sitting out, so that is KR, Quest, Line Triple. They're going to be having a bit of a break, but CONQUEROR, ONYX Ravens, Team Falcons, and W7 are going to be stepping in to show us what they can bring and what their approach is going to be to day number 4. Of course, next map is going to be over on towards Miramar. But speaking about maps, right, we need to take a look and see just how many points our respective teams were able to secure in this game. And whether or not we have any major shifts coming through with regards to that board. Because as we know, right, the teams are playing for top 12, top 16. There's a lot to go for here. And also the teams are then playing for their share of those bonus points, so they can start off the finals with a decent tally, right? Already just alleviating a little bit of that pressure. But speaking of points and tallies, let's tally it all up. It is going to be a lovely 24-pointer going over to the side of Quest. GEEKAY, ARB picking up 8 eliminations. KR finishing on 7 elims. And Slime Machine only finding eliminations, but a very healthy, decent dose of it. 6 to accompany them back into that lobby. Twisted, RTG, and the Broody Fruities. Unfortunately, not going to be walking away with any points, as they will get sent back empty-handed. But our stars of the show is going to be Alhaji taking the most damage as well as the most elims. Gaith securing those 2 nade finishes. Santa Well, I mean, no surprise to see Santa covering the greatest distance because, I mean, maybe Santa's just warming up for Christmas. Who knows? Ida, though, coming through with a 367-meter hit. So almost 1 meter for every day of the year. So very, very exciting to see then. But yeah, respect going out to Santa. Definitely, I think Santa's warming up, right? Because December is approaching. So, of course, having to circumnavigate the globe, that takes quite some time. So, maybe just get yourself used to covering quite a bit of ground. So, well played on that one. But now I think the big question is going to be how is this first match impacting our phase standings? Do we have any shifts, any changes, anything crazy happening? We don't know. But what is also something to look at is going to be ARB champions. I mean, bringing a nice showing here. 3 elims coming through for Osama, 3 for Tok. Ricard, unfortunately, not being able to secure any eliminations, but at least still dealing quite a bit of damage. 232. But I think at this point it's safe to say that Osama was carrying the team in this last match, right? With regards to damage, also really good at avoiding the damage, taking 168. Which is just very, very decent, right? So well played to them. Of course, a healthy dose of points. 12 is going to sit quite nice for them. But of course, now we need to see how this then reflects over on towards our phase standings. From what I can see, we have had a few changes come through, but we'll be hopping into that very, very soon. In the meanwhile, let's enjoy a few of the highlights coming through from this past match. But man, the chat is lighting up today. I mean, it probably helps if everybody is here, right? Yeah, I agree with you, JV, and I definitely do think that NASR shows that they want to qualify. They want to secure themselves that position within the top 16. I mean, because coming into today, they were sitting in 15th. Right, it was very, very close. 3 points. I'm already separating them from 14th. And then, of course, 1 point separating them from 16th. So, yeah, there is a lot of contention coming through. But that is what we love to have happen here. Just trying to catch up with everything that is going on. Anything in particular? Nothing that is pointed at me. It's maybe to mention on broadcast, but that is fine. Here we go. It's going to be Questlo walking away with 14 eliminations coming out of 2,800 damage. That is a very, very strong play. But I think ARB, they do take the show here. Finding 8 eliminations out of 1,400 damage. The conversion rate leaning a little bit more in their favor. I think the second, a very close second to that would be KR, then Quest. Then we've got GEEKAY, and then, of course, the players coming through from the side of NASR. But strong plays here. Al-Hajj finding 949 damage. Fidando coming through with only 17 damage received. I mean, that is very impressive. I think someone maybe coughed in the direction there of Fahidan. And, yeah, they were just like, woo, missed it. But, yeah, I mean, Quest showing a lot of capability and adaptability moving their way through that match. But as we know, next up is going to be a bit of an opportunity moving into Erangel on the Miramar to see what the teams are going to do. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at the leaderboards. As you can see at the top of the screen as well, we've got about 3 minutes and a bit of change left until the next match is going to be trickling on in. We've got GEEKAY sitting up in pole position. Of course, with regards to shifts and changes, nothing happening within the top 4. Questlo, they've jumped up 6 slots actually, all the way from 12th up into 6th place. Now with 3 winner chicken dinners for this phase. NASR, they've also moved up that 1 position. ARB also jumping up 5 positions just thanks to this last match. So you gotta love what's happening over there. And then of course KR, they've also now just swapped places with the GANGSTERS. So a lot actually happening as a result of this first match. Xenox was Xenox yesterday. I mean, I would hope that Xenox was Xenox yesterday, but you know what I really hope is that Xenox is Xenox today. Right? I mean, because it's good being yourself the previous day, but you got to be yourself, in the present as well. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure how that really works. But, yes. Speaking about shifts and, changes that we've had come through, NASR, they've now moved up into 14th. swapping places with W7. And KR, they've also moved up into 18th place, just ahead of CONQUEROR. So the gatekeeping position for the top 16 is 243 points, right? And the closest to that is the place from ARB Champions with 11 points. So ARB really going to have to grind their way through today to see if they can get themselves secured into this and maybe making a play for those, for the finals. I mean, based on what we've seen come through from Triple so far, across this phase, there might be a bit of an opportunity because ARB, they've already been securing a lot more points for this phase in comparison to that of a team like Triple. Triple sitting on 62 points. If we look at ARB, they're sitting on 68 points. Yes, 6 points. It's not that big of a difference, but it could definitely make quite a bit of a difference when it comes to consistently building those points, right? That is where we are right now with the points. So let's see exactly whether or not these teams are going to be able to change it up. Of course, venturing over in towards Miramar, we have a few teams to look at. And it does change up ever so slightly in comparison to that lovely Erangel, right? NIGMA, the top performing team on Erangel. But when it comes to Miramar, it is down to business for GEEKAY and R8. I mean, R8 sitting with the second highest elimination count here. Slime Machine, actually, with a little bit more. Right, but there we have it. So quite a bit could happen here. I'm curious to see, though, who's going to be the one to take it. Because, as we know, Slime Machine obviously not going to be playing this match because they are in Group D. So they are instead going to be having a bit of a break. But this is that golden opportunity now for GEEKAY, R8, or potentially even NIGMA to step it up and run away with the points. Team Falcons also still one elimination away from hitting a full 100 elims. So there could be a bit of an opportunity. I mean, Twisted Minds also then sitting on 97. Quest also on 97. Ooh. But I think with this one, CONQUEROR, ONYX, Falcons, W7, they're going to try and stretch those legs a little bit because this is going to be their first match of the day. I'm especially excited to see what W7 is going to be bringing in because, I mean, they had a very strong run in the previous day, setting quite a bit of a standard, and we'll see if they'll be able to replicate those efforts moving through here. I mean, looking at W7's overall performance when it comes to the map of Miramar, they find themselves with 60 total eliminations, 115 points, but of course 2 winner chicken dinners. So, I mean, they are capable, right? They definitely are. But are they going to be able to secure that play? We don't know. That is going to be the big question that we will be looking to have answered here. But yeah, that map is going to be loading up pretty soon. So if you guys want to drop predictions with Flight Path with Zone, let me know in the chat. If you've got any predictions as to the outcome of this coming game, let me know. Curious to hear what your thoughts are. In the meanwhile, well, we are going to be buckling ourselves into our seats, ensuring that everything is exactly as it is supposed to be, because it's go time, right? So let's take a look and see exactly what that will bring on through. The flight path starting to reveal itself, and before I can say anything, we'll have to wait so I can show you what is happening. So let's get right down to business as we start off with the plane coming through there on that southwestern side, right? Starting in between Valle del Mar and Minas del Valle. So the mining valley and the valley of the sea. Right? Something like that. That's a very, and probably, there we go. Probably a wrong prediction. Graveyard end zone, that is one prediction that we have coming through. Alright, I like that, I mean, it's slightly on the eastern side, so I'm not going to say no to that. Let's see if Javian is going to be on the money. Alright, any other predictions you want to pop? With regards to zone, obviously you can't predict the flight path. I mean, you could still, but it's going to be pointless, right? There's no point in saying, oh, I think the flight path's going to go from northeast to southwest. Well, we do know the zone. Yeah, it's not exactly going to be leaning into the side there of Graveyard. I mean, it might, right? Graveyard just on the very edge of zone. So not sure if that is going to be the case, but what we do see is the teams are looking to get themselves dispersed. We got the plays there from NIGMA and Vision down on that southern edge. ARB and IKURD hanging around. IKURD, of course, going to be holding on to a lovely bit of that Chumacera. Let's go, Falcons and Twisted. Shout out there for Brute Force as well, taking up their usual location up into a little bit of Pozzo. Get to see NIGMA not deciding to come in hot. We've seen that upset before. Discrim now just taking off. Looking to get a bit of an aerial view here as we are chasing them down. Unfortunately, we can't do anything to stop them, right? All they can do is look on as Discrim enjoys the view, enjoys the sight, and takes us on a bit of a scenic play through the lovely Miramar. Yeah, but you gotta watch out for trees though. I hear trees and wings, they don't really mix. Meanwhile, we do say goodbye to Volt as Ali gets the jump. The first blood, the first elimination. Alright, so decent zone. Not a bad flight path. So the team's actually find themselves in quite a bit of a setup here, right? A good spot to be. W7, of course, also going to be opting all the way up north into that lovely La Cobreria. The Gangsters going for a little bit of that Torre Armada. I'm surprised to see them not actually rotating up into Campo Militar. Los Leones zone. I mean, I don't quite know, right? It is on the edge. So maybe if it takes a bit of a turn, heads off in a different direction, maybe. Twisted, Brute Force, and Sly. There we go, shoutouts coming through from Knowledge City. In the meanwhile, San Martin is being held by the side of R8. The Falcons going to be holding on to their usual kind of spread here. I mean, up in towards Cruz del Valle. Salama holding on to a little bit more of a southern positioning. So if Quest was here, Salam would definitely be contested by Al-Hajj. In the meanwhile, Brute Force, they have the entire El Pozo to themselves, right? So they can just go about their loot, not be bothered, have a nice casual stroll, look for a bit of a something over there, a little bit of something over there. You know, so much to do. And they have the benefit of being within that zone. But let's see if we are going to have any crazy pushes come in as the teams are just making their way through again. No one really overly committing to any aggression at this stage. I think that is quite commendable. NIGMA also bringing in their usual rotation, right? They normally drop towards that southern point of Los Leones, down to the refinery, and then they start with a nice little bit of a play over on towards this western side. But they are going to be bumping into a bit of vision along the way. You can see Rauf now waiting for Tapok. Oh, trying to lead the shot, but unfortunately Tapok goes the opposite direction. Predictable to some extent, but Tapok now looking to change it up. Let's see whether or not the rest of Vision are going to come rushing on in. Oh, there we go. So Tapok with a big bait and switch. Actually, as they actually then pull Rauf out into the open. But up comes Lord now. We see that follow through. Could we have the knock coming through onto Saif? Coops and also just flying right by. Freak yet to join the party. Join the fray. We're also waiting for Discrim. Discrim is much, much further away. I don't think that Discrim is going to be able to save their teammates. And they might as well now just turn around and head in the opposite direction. Looking to play for a little bit more longevity, right? Up comes groups. This is going to be the end. Zaif is not safe. Alright, and that is exactly what this scrim will continue to do. Meanwhile, the gangsters, they're going to be rolling through from Torre Ahumada. Maybe going to be looking for a bit of a position up in towards San Martin. NASR, bold play up in towards center zone. Just to see what NASR is going to be doing in this one. I mean, Miramar has not exactly been kind to them. They've only been able to find 19 placement points and 52 eliminations. Right, that is quite a bit of a difference if we compare the performance of Miramar to that which we've seen come through on Erangel. Right. Also then on Sanhok, I mean Sanhok has also been quite a nice map for the side of NASR. So I think it's safe to say Miramar definitely not their strongest map to play. Unfortunately for them, they can focus on the map that they are much stronger in, much more proficient in. That of course being the side of Erangel. Let's see there how they're gonna hold up as they are gonna get pushed on. They are going to get tried, right? We got R8, GEEKAY, IKURD, ARB, NXX, potentially even ONYX Ravens, but now with the shift. Oh, look at NIGMA. They are just laughing all the way in as they rotate up. No one there to contest them. There we go, Falcons coming through with a bit of a drive-by. Securing themselves at least that that initial elimination. But now the rest of the gangsters are much further away. But here we go, the shots now just ringing on through. Oh, General could be in a lot of trouble. Ador coming in with quite a bit of a reach, but both Brute Force and W7 need to get their butts in zone. This is now the opportunity here for NASR to increase those stats, increase those points, and maybe play for a little bit more of that survivability. I mean, 52 eliminations, definitely not a bad point to be on. Oh, you can definitely do with those placement points. Starts with a great play. Not often that we see the Vector being used. But up comes Aram. Oh, quick trade. Quick trade. And IKURD now essentially down to golden. So this is a beautiful change over here for NASR. Stepping up the aggression. Really doubling down on the effort here. But they have to act quickly because R8 and NXX are going to come swooping on by. So they might get robbed of a few elims here. You can see NXX now just circling up on the east. R8 circling on the west. I feel a little bit of that fencer play about to find its way on in. Ooh, Golden trying to clutch it out. They do at least find 2 knocks coming through into NXX, but none of that gets converted into eliminations. So IKURD is our first team down. At least 3 eliminations being locked in here. So they won't exactly get sent back empty-handed. Does seem like R8 are going to be looking to disengage as they venture a little bit further on towards that western front. Now ARB, they could be the next few to step up. I can see if they can find a bit of that NASR pie. In the meanwhile, the zone is going to be closing up, getting ready to pop. Alright, so not an overly aggressive shift coming through with regards to the zone. Knowledge City saying that PUBG is unpredictable. Yes, even the zone is unpredictable, right? Anything and everything can happen all at the same time or never. Right? And that is what makes this game so beautiful. Speaking about unpredictability, let's see how these teams are going to be looking to get themselves situated. I mean, we're still waiting for Discrim there from Vision all the way down south. We're also then still waiting for the side of CONQUEROR Iraq to make their push, as they have a bit of an opportunity, maybe in onto the back end there of RTG. Gangsters also seem quite resistant to rotations. Right, so W7 going to be taking their approach, coming through all the way on the western edge. I'm not quite sure why they are this hesitant. As we can see, there's no one up ahead of them. I mean, sure, we've got Brute Force a little bit further up north, but I don't think Brute Force will have a clear line of sight down onto that exact position. Unless, of course, W7 just rotate in guns blazing, right? That is going to then draw quite a bit of attention to them, but yeah, I'm not quite sure why they are being that hesitant. Meanwhile, CONQUEROR Iraq, they don't give well, they don't, well, you could figure out where my thoughts was heading with that one, but they don't care too much, right? They're just going to be pushing into the southern edge. No one up ahead of them just yet. They're going to be rolling into the southern portion of Chumacera. Meanwhile, Twisted going to be heading further down south. Very surprising rotation. I mean, Vision Gangsters also opting for the southern rotations. This scrim just can't resist a bit of an opportunity to get their hands on that loot crate. Of course, with the Gangsters right here. The scrim now gets on the horn, telling them like, hey, watch out, I'm here. Don't shoot, I'm friendly. I'm not quite sure if that qualifies in PUBG. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? It's worth an attempt to see whether or not Discrim can actually get a team to not hit any shots at them. But of course, then you can't turn around and go spraying at them, seeing that they left you alone. Yeah, but NIGMA definitely got to be looking to capitalize on the opportunities. We can see a few of those sprays now heading in the direction there of the Gangsters. Up comes CONQUEROR Iraq, pulling in behind the ONYX Ravens. We got Lath just chilling very, very high. Beautiful Overwatch. Well, that's maybe an ace up their sleeve they're going to be looking to play at. Of course, it's going to be heavily reliant on whether or not the zone will be allowing any of that to be utilized. Meanwhile, Saleh now trying to get as aggressive as they can, but NIGMA making it so difficult to secure the sprays. I just think they're starting to quiet down a little bit here up in towards Chumacera. I mean, Vision, CONQUEROR, ONYX Ravens, all kind of keeping their distance. But it all has to change at some point. You can see Lath now just scouting it out, trying to get a good assessment here, relaying all the information down to the rest of the teams. Or rather, down to the rest of the team. Oh, J9, you gotta watch out. This is one of those rare situations where the player can see the opponents, but the opponents can't necessarily see them, right? They're not necessarily looking up. Ooh, that nade comes close. But this is actually a beautiful strategy coming through from Lath. I mean, sending out a utility. it doesn't exactly pinpoint where those utilities are coming from. I mean, obviously we can see the line, but the players can't see any of that. All they have is the explosions just popping up alongside them. Now, it could be RTG and the Gangsters getting into a little bit of a situation. Gangsters, of course, down to 1. RTG down to 2. I'm not quite sure whether or not Riva and their teammate are aware of the position here of Jafar. Oh, there we go. Surprise! Jafar locks in the first. Galaga now maybe going to be looking to close it up. Kashi! Where's your shout out? Speaking about shout outs, it's going to be Twisted now looking to shout out at the side there of ARB. All the way off in the distance. Looking for a bit of a play, looking for a bit of an angle. NIGMA keeping nice and quiet. Not going to be too pestering at this point. But the zone is going to get ready to pop yet again. Where will it be taking us this time? Ooh, another smooth shift. Again, not applying too much pressure to these teams. I mean, NIGMA going to be especially happy about that. Twisted, I'm not quite convinced. Looking at their position here, I don't know how they are going to be looking to get out of this one because they've been making quite a bit of noise, right? Tapping away there at ARB. Oops. Yes, Kashi, it is a oopsie. But you know what? It's fine. Welcome to the broadcast. The more the merrier. We have quite a few people watching, so if you've not yet popped into the chat to say hi, give us a bit of a wave. Beat the attitude. Go Twist, go! Alright, well, let's see whether or not anything is going to be on the horizon here for Twist. I mean, Ricardo holding on to a good bit of Overwatch. So it is going to be quite the challenging push coming through here. Ole is going to be Twisted now, risking it all as they rush on forward. 3 players in that vehicle with Crypto coming with a bit of Overwatch. That could be a good strat to hold. Ooh, that nade comes close. We do say goodbye to Vision, though. Let's see if ARB can defend this position. I mean, they've already been able to find AZ. That is just with a little bit of the reach coming through with those utilities. Now, NIGMA going to be venturing up as well. Down goes Groups. Ooh, ARB gets the jump in. Down goes Dami, but Evo's station comes through with a bit of response. Quick trade then coming through from Ricardo here. This is going to be quite risky. Crypto not exactly being able to get that line of sight. And Ricardo's flanking up the edge. That is going to be the end. Yeah, Twisted Chicken loading maybe for another game, but definitely not this one, as they will get loaded empty-handed into that lobby. Meanwhile, W7, CONQUEROR, going to be holding over on towards the western side here. Let's see what Lead and Co are going to be bringing in. Yeah, Kashi, unfortunately, ARB in 16th in this match, not going to be happening. What is going to be happening is the hit up into Salam as the shots come through. Oh, big upset. GEEKAY playing that position. You can see him now just holding on to the edge here, looking to see maybe this is the jump chance as the zone, again, just casually strolls even further in on itself. So the big contenders here to watch, right? Looking to see whether or not team like Twisted is going to be in trouble. Right? Is going to be... Well, everyone sat behind them with regards to those points. So, I mean, Twisted, they way up there, sitting on 333 points. So they don't necessarily have to stress about the outcome of this match, right? GEEKAY, though, they're going to be looking to solidify their lead. And with a bit of a rush like this coming through, it is not making the situation any easier as Osama now looks to lock it in. ARB, on the other hand, they are going to be fighting tooth and nail to get themselves up into that top 16. Of course, coming into this match, trailing with 11 points. Already now with 6 eliminations up. They only need 5 more to be on par with Triple Esports. Oh, CONQUEROR Iraq, down they go. Also one of those teams trying to climb the board, but having this kind of performance is not what they need. They need to last a lot longer. Fortunately for them, there's only one. There's only one Miramar here today. They do have that opportunity coming through onto a little bit of Erangel to try and maybe play that upset. Speaking about upset, look at Gaith now just starting to ride the ridge. Oh, getting ready for the jump. We got Smoker, Doc, and Osama holding just ahead. Quite a bit of contention coming through onto with this eastern side. I'm not going to lie about that. But I mean, look at this though. FALCONS also experiencing the exact same situation as GEEKAY and ARB are having right here. Brute Force getting bullied by R8. And NASR looking to make them sweat. But we do say goodbye to the FALCONS as they will not be allowed into that zone. As is Osama denied access. As Sanhok sends out the nade. ARB now could be in quite a bit of trouble. As GEEKAY are finding quite a bit of momentum. Regardless of the defense coming through from ARB. But as we know, ARB are going to be playing for points. So they at least need to make it into the top 8. Oh! Nice trade here from Ricard. Does stop Santa. Now it's up to Gaith. Oh, but of course the third body hits coming through. ONYX Ravens playing upset. Ricard getting taken down there by Saleh. Oh, beautiful range. Gotta love it. But is that going to be a bit of a saving grace now for the ONYX Ravens? Right? Are they going to be able to secure a few of those cheeky elims? And if they do, I mean, this could be exactly the opportunity that the ARB champions now need. No, Twisted, unfortunately, they're not with us anymore. They're going to be joining us in the next match. As they got taken out in 13th. Ooh, here we go, though. Doc, Smoker now trying to uphold a bit of aggression. Up comes the rush. Down goes Smoker. It's up to Doc, but the trade is in. The shots are there, and ooh! They actually managed to find hope. Now it's going to be Santa. And Gaith coming in with pure aggression. Yeah, Doc didn't have the health bar to really fight that one out. But a valiant effort being brought in by ARB champion. 6 eliminations does close the gap considerably. Meanwhile, taking a look at what kind of unfolded for the side of the north, right? Brute Force, NASR, FALCONS. All very heavy-handed. NASR now down to 2-piece. They're going to be looking to up the ante here. I mean, they could maybe still pull a rabbit out of a hat. Right. Based on the positioning, based on the spread of the rest of the lobby, that could be the play. Meanwhile, R8, oof. Not having a smooth run. W7 also not having the smoothest run, as they will get stopped in 9th. Dexter now getting sprayed down as Saad just picks up momentum out of nowhere. 11 eliminations. Saleh already sitting on 5. Lathe now, they've jumped off of that silo. So now they're going to be looking to make a bit of a play here. Brute Force also now trying to show a little bit of dominance coming through from the north. R8 though, out in 7th. ONYX Raven still holding very, very steadily. There's going to be Brute Force now looking to contest as they move in. They look to get a bit of share of the action here. Brute Force though, trailing by 7 eliminations to the side of ONYX Ravens. Now with that spray, with that play, Brute Force in quite a bit of trouble here. Ado could get jumped by Spec. Spec trying to find the opportunity, trying to find the angle. A little bit of a ridge line, just narrowly saving their butt. Also got to watch out for the ONYX Ravens. Yeah. ONYX Ravens going to be looking to capitalize. I mean, they've already come through with a very impressive performance, as we've seen on Erangel all the way back in Phase 1, Day 5. Brute Force having a tough run, not being able to find that same kind of consistency as we had all the way back in the spring season. Now, ONYX Ravens already on 14 eliminations. It's between ONYX and GEEKAY as our two top performers with regards to those insane winner chicken dinners. As you know, also yesterday, ONYX Ravens, they were able to secure themselves the victory ahead of NIGMA Galaxy. But now things look to quiet down a little bit. While the team's now waiting for the zone to make its thing. The blue zone is going to close up. This is the 9th phase. ONYX Ravens, the team with the highest number count coming into this play. They are going to be focusing their efforts down onto the side here of NASR. Oh, Spec though pops in a quick cheeky hit. Down they go, Saleh though. Beautiful work already on 7 eliminations. That is now 16 elims coming through for the side of the ONYX Ravens. They are going up against 5 other players. Solo from RTG, Kalaga holding nice and steadily. And we got Lord there as well. And then of course the 3-piece coming through from GEEKAY. Up comes the play now as Lord is looking to make a bit of noise. Oh, the hits find them though, and down they go. NIGMA out with only 2 eliminations, having to settle for 4th. So no chicken in sight for them here today. Down goes Kalaga. That is ONYX Ravens now sitting on 17. GEEKAY sitting on 5. So 22 eliminations between these two teams. But GEEKAY still with the 3-piece up. More than enough numbers. But is this going to be a numbers game though? Ooh. Down to 1. Gaith now, the final hopeful. Already finds the spray. Looking for find the trade. It's going to be up to Saad. And Laith now looking to close it up. Gaith and Laith getting ready for a bit of a showdown here. Saad comes rushing onto the ridge. Down goes Gaith, and that is it. ONYX Ravens getting themselves yet another winner chicken dinner. Not only hitting the double digits, but also hitting well into those double digits. I mean, closing off the show. Right, closing off that match. 20 points. Just on eliminations. I mean, ONYX Ravens, they've just got something different built into them. I mean, they are able to secure Such an insane performance. We've seen a 22 elimination game come through from them. Now we got a 20 elimination game coming in. I mean, like, what even is going on? Like, ONYX Ravens, all the way back in phase 1, popped off in day number 5. Now in phase 3, day 4, they pop off. I mean, right? They've got a little bit of secret spice, right? Whatever that spice is, it's very, very nice. I'm pretty sure of that. But well played by the ONYX Ravens. That does quite a bit of work for them. Of course, that is their 7th winner chicken dinner. Yes, number 7 has just been confirmed. So well played, ONYX Ravens. Definitely coming out of nowhere with these amazing performances. I mean, that is the 2nd chicken dinner for this phase as well, sitting now on a very comfortable 2. But let's take a look at the board. 20 eliminations dropping. A lovely, glorious 30 bomb as they are well away. Right, well ahead of GEEKAY, RTG, and everyone else behind them. But a very consistent play coming through there from NIGMA, Brute Force, and ARB also locking in 6 points. ARB only capitalizing on those eliminations. Our 2nd most aggressive team in this game. And then, of course, well, as we take a look at the 2nd page, Twisted is going to be the only team getting Twisted into the lobby with an empty hand. Right? No points, nothing but donuts, nothing but bubbles. But of course, bubbles are also fun to play with. Unfortunately, not the kind that you get here in PUBG. NASR is getting consistent like yesterday. Yeah, we'll talk about a few of the changes, a few of the shifts that we've seen come through with regards to this leaderboard. But NASR already sitting on 16 points for the day. Right? It's a good day indeed. So they are going to be feeling very, very happy with themselves. But strong performances, that is exactly what we need to see come through, rather. I mean, ONYX Ravens, I don't know where they find it, how they find it. But you got to give the respect where the respect is due. 17 eliminations already at this point. Before even closing up the last stretch of this match. And then I wanted to see Lace and Gaze go at it again. But unfortunately, Saad, well, did what they did. Got themselves that winner chicken dinner, the final hit, the final spray. But a very good play nonetheless. So Saleh coming through on 7 eliminations, Saad finishing on 6. Then we had Laith finishing on 4 and R coming through with 3. So that all adds up to a lovely 20 points. And a very aggressive showing there from the ONYX Ravens. 30-171. 30-71, that is very, very good to see. I mean, that also then awards them the biggest conversion rate. 20 eliminations out of 30 players worth of damage being dealt. Only missing out on a bit of, only missing out on about, 10 eliminations? I mean, finding 30 elims, I think that is going to be pretty insane, right? So that would be like a little bit sus. Like, how even would you do that at this level? We've seen a 20-pointer now, we've seen a 22, we've seen a 23. I mean, we only needed 21 and a 22, right? So, well, yeah, we only needed 21, though. That's the only one that we still need to see. Then we've had a very good taste at those 20-plus elims come through. But a very crazy performance there from ONYX Ravens. Of course, that does phenomenal things with regards to their positioning in this phase. Also then with regards to their positioning on the overall leaderboard. But in the meanwhile, talking about the phase, it is going to be GEEKAY still sitting at the top there. So no change in our top 3. NASR, though, they've jumped up into 4th place. The ONYX Ravens flying up 7 slots all the way into 6th position. That is just an insane leap coming through on their end. RTG also going to be moving up 2 slots into 10th. We got Brute Force moving up 1 into 14th. And then, of course, the players there from NEXX also then finding themselves up into 16th position. Also 1 slot, just trading places essentially with the side there of Team FALCONS. So a lot of excitement coming through here. I mean, as you can see, a very, very aggressive showing. A big fight for that top 12 to see who's going to be making their way up in towards Livik. But of course, that is going to be tomorrow, right? So expect quite a few changes still to come through in our final games tomorrow. But for today, ONYX Ravens, they are going to be feeling very, very happy. In fact, ONYX Ravens, they've jumped up 5 slots three rather. They've jumped up 3 slots with regards to the overall positioning on the standings, finding themselves now set up in, well, 5th position, right? That's where the 5 came from. As a result of that jump, Falcons, they've moved down into 6th place. And then, of course, Vision also down to 7th, and Twisted Minds down to 8th place. So, yeah, things are changing. Speaking about change, well, no change. We are going to be taking a quick break, so we'll see you guys back in a short few moments.
بالنسبة لسيف، شنو المهارات اللي يمتلكها أو الأشياء اللي تميز سيف ومن الممكن أن هي توصله للنجاح؟
طبعا تقريبا شخصيتي القيادية داخل الجيم، بحكم إني أجيل. طبعا مهارات سكيلز، وهذا مع سكيلزات دوري عندي سكيلز ثانية سكيلز. أيضا التيم يعني يملك مهارات، أكيد راح أساعد التيم والتيم راح يساعد سيف.
تحاول توظف الفريق بشكل مجمل
أكيد،
على أساس أنها توصل مع فريقك بالشكل الكامل. بالنسبة سيف لسؤالنا الخامس ما قبل الأخير، نبي رسالة توجهها لخصومك في المنافسة في PMPL.
والله احنا طلعنا بصورة سيف يا مرسيس، يعني بنرد لهم PMPL إن شاء الله، والبطولات الجاية إنه مو هذا مستوانا، إنه إن شاء الله تبقى نحن إن شاء الله.
بإذن واحد أحد، يعني انتظرونا في PMPL. هذه الرسالة الواضحة اللي
هذا
نتوصلها.
الشيء الوحيد.
ونبي رسالة أخيرة منك وكلمة ختام حق الجمهور كذلك.
انتظرونا إن شاء الله PMPL، وراح نعوضكم بالمستوى الأفضل.
بإذن واحد أحد، ما قصرت. شكرا سيف على وقتك، وبإذن الله أتمنى لك التوفيق في القادم.
بإذن الله.
Well, there we go, there we go. So it turns out it's Saif, not Saif, or Safe. I mean, I guess if I say Saif, it's probably the safe way to say that, right? Either which way, we are going to be prepping ourselves for the next bit of action. It does seem like we are looking at something else in the meanwhile. Not quite sure what this is, but here we go. A little bit of a scenic look at the lovely, lovely Erangel. As we know, that is where we're heading back to next for game number 3 and 4. So the teams will have yet another great opportunity to lock in those points, to surprise us with the kinds of performances that they can bring on in. So moving into this game, it is going to be the opportunity for the players then from Group C to take a bit of a break, right? R8, IKURD, ARB Champions, and RTG, the Road to Glory squad. But this is also then the opportunity for KR, Quest, Sly, and Triple to show us what they can bring on through, as they will have the chance now to, again, stretch their legs and get into a little bit of the hot and spiciness that Erangel will bring on through. Of course, I'm going to be looking at the side of NASR to see if they can secure their very first winner chicken dinner, as they are sitting on 99 eliminations. They're yet to find that one, right? Just that extra one to hit the century. And that will, of course, then put them a grand total of 135 points, as they are currently sat on 134. That is across 21 Erangel. So impressive stats coming through for their end. I mean, IKURD also looking pretty strong. ARB Champions also looking pretty strong, but they're not going to be playing. ONYX Ravens, they found 3. GEEKAY, they found 2 chickens. Quest on 3. NIGMA on 4. So there's a lot cooking on the opposite end of that of the battlefield, of course. Brute Force also, I mean, a very strong performance. One winner chicken dinner, sat in 9th place with regards to the overall performance here. 83 total eliminations with 39 placement points and 122 points. So there's a little bit of a gap. a little bit of a gap, about 12 points between Brute Force and NASR with regards to the overall Erangel play. But as we are going to be stepping out onto the battlefield pretty soon, I'm curious to hear as to what you think the zone and the flight path is going to be doing. Alright, so give me your predictions. Tell me, who do you think is going to be clutching it out? Who's going to be the team to secure the victory? Could we see another repeat offender maybe finding its way on through, right? As we know already, ONYX Ravens, they got this last match. Quest got the first winner chicken dinner. When we see that consistency follow in, maybe it's going to be someone else. Maybe it could be a bit of NASR. Maybe it could be, I don't even know. Maybe it could be IKURD. No, it's definitely not going to be IKURD because they're not playing, right? So scratch that one. But who knows, right? Maybe it could even be Triple, right? Only one way to find out. Let's take a look and see exactly what the map is going to be bringing through. As the flight path is going to be starting on that far southern edge of the zone. It's going to be nothing but up from here, heading all the way over towards the lovely Saverni. So Brute Force is going to be happy about that. Being able to just reach the position they know so very well. See GEEKAY, they're sitting on 6470 with regards to damage, well ahead of Coops, who's sitting on 5856. I mean, pretty impressive plays though. I believe these are the headshots, if I'm not mistaken. Suspect sitting on 8, Smoker on 6, Tabok coming through on 5. Of course, looking at how the teams are spreading, it is going to be Sly and Triple heading into a little bit of that sort of Novka action. Santa coming through with 30-somethings. Let's go see if we can find out exactly what it is that we are looking at on that end. Meanwhile, the zone, very nice. Essentially centering up on Potato Hill. You can't see it, but it's there, right under the players from Triple. So good, very good center zone to kick off the proceedings here for today. Let's see where our players are going to be looking to get themselves situated and positioned, as the zone will allow for a lot of that strategic play now to come through. So yeah, GEEKAY also currently leading with the amount of eliminations, sitting on a lovely 93. That is very impressive to see. The closer that we have to that is going to be Santa and then Krups, right? So GEEKAY on 93, Santa on 88, Krups on 85, and then Al-Hajj coming through on 83. The highest performer for the side of Sly Machine though is going to be Fashe, with 63 eliminations to their name. The highest for Twisted, of course, then coming through as Evo Station, who's sitting on 70. Crypto also sitting on a very comfortable 70 elims. But Evo is... oh, well, I'm not quite sure how that ranking works out, but both of them have exactly the same kind of points. So very balanced showing coming through from both Crypto and Evo Station. This is a NIGMA Galaxy winner chicken dinner, says Mr. Frosty. I like that drumstick as well. It's making my mouth water now. I wouldn't mind for a bit of a chicken dinner of my own at this point, right? It was funny with Mauers saying that, or Mauers, Mau, M-A-U, M-M-U-A. Mauers. Saying GEEKAY is too consistent. You can't be too consistent, right? That is not a thing. You can be too inconsistent, right? But being too consistent, yeah. I don't know what that is. I mean, being too consistent makes you very predictable to some extent. We got a Falcons chicken coming in there. I mean, those two sentences don't really, those two words don't exactly fit into a sentence, right? Falcons and chicken. I mean, both of them have wings. Only one of them can fly. But let's find out how this one is going to play out, as it will be NEXX and Falcons up in the lovely Yasnaya Poliana. Will NEXX get X'd? Oh. Will the Falcons get a winged? Ooh, Pablo already down. Nawaf taking quite a bit of damage on that one. Dexter coming with a follow-through. That's going to be up to Salam, never alone in Damar, but they are going to be hopping in the vehicles as they just elevate those butts off of the ground. Kicking their feet up, looking to get themselves back into a little bit of that hard cover. I like the aggression being shown towards the northern side of zone. We got Vision and Brute Force also situated up in towards the north, but they are nowhere near this position here, so it's going to be up to NEXX and the Falcons to have a bit of a decisive play. Meanwhile, it's going to be Conquer Iraq all the way down south, rotating into that more center zone positioning. NIGMA also going to be rotating up, so there could be quite a bit of a play. I mean, Conquer Iraq, they've had two phenomenal matches from what we've seen, right? Those two winner chicken dinners coming in. But them on average of 8% consistency. I mean, 8% success rate. That is really, really good for them. I mean, even though they do have two winner chicken dinners on the map of Erangel, they only have 54 rather, eliminations and 43 placement points, putting them on a grand total of 97. Looking at the side of Quest, it's a completely opposite, completely different story. 3 winner chicken dinners, 89 eliminations, 62 placement total points. That culminates on 151 points, only one behind R8. R8 sitting with 90 eliminations instead of 89. So that is what's saving their butts. Right, all the way into that top 2. NIGMA, of course, well, being NIGMA. 4 winner chicken dinners, 119 eliminations, 72 total points, placement points rather, and 191. They need 9 points to hit 200. Just 9 points. So let's see if they are going to be able to lock in those 9 points here for today. GEEKAY trailing by about 50 points from that. Next, going to be pushing for Conqueror. I mean, are they going to be pushing onto the team of Conqueror or for the ranking of Conqueror? Which one will it be? We don't know. We'll find out soon enough in the next episode, which is going to be now. So welcome to the next episode. ONYX Ravens, though, they are going to be pushing up onto the side of Quest. Conqueror, though, they are situated somewhere else, unless you're, of course, referring to the positioning within the phase. Then I don't quite know, because Conqueror are a little bit further behind NEXX, right? NEXX all the way up in 16th. Conqueror down in 20th, so yeah, it's a little bit of a different situation. I ate some buffalo falcon wings. They be doing rank push on the next episode, episode 10. In the meanwhile, look at that zone. Ugh. The entire western side. It's just teams. Wow, that is going to be absolutely insane. I mean, Vision going to be looking to play a bit of upset as they come strolling through. Rotating through from the northeastern side. They could essentially be the only team on that eastern front. Yeah, but I mean, I hope you've got your helmets ready, right? I hope you've got your seatbelts ready and prepped as well. because this is going to be an absolute explosion of aggression coming through from our teams here, looking for a little bit of action. Again, not an easy one to play through, especially not with 16 teams in. But we are going to find out very, very soon exactly what they will have in store as CONQUEROR now look to claim a bit of land at the expense of Quest. The sprays are there, the connections are being made. NASR also getting found. So Quest saying goodbye to Fahidan. Yeah, behave in the chat. The players, they don't need to behave. They can do what they do. But in the chat, you can't do the same. You have to be respectable. In the meanwhile, speaking about respectable, we got NASR in a very respectable position, close towards center zone. A little bit of a vantage point. We got triple coming through on that southern edge. I mean, Shayo, I do pronounce words funny sometimes, but Quest and Twisted, right? It sounds completely different. I'm not quite sure how you heard that, but sure, we'll take it. Meanwhile, it is going to be the side of GEEKAY taking center zone. Twist taking a very comfortable position all the way down on towards Malta. But let's see what the zone is going to bring on in. W7 also now on the approach. Ooh. Hey, you got to give it to these teams, though. They read that zone. They knew where the zone was going even before the zone knew where the zone was going. So now it is going to be setup time. We got Quest and CONQUEROR. Again, I'm not saying Twisted, right? Holding on to the edge of zone. Over on towards that western side. We got ONYX Ravens up on Potato Hill. Ooh. I think Evo Station is maybe hoping that they are driving Evo, right? As you can see them just drifting out on the sands, playing a little bit of that off-road game. Ooh, Quest, NIGMA, KR, ooh, okay, and Vision being our predicted dominators for this match. If you agree, let me know in the chat. If you don't agree, tell me who you think is going to be the one then, right? If it's not any of those predictions, who do you think is going to be taking this chicken? You've already seen a few shout-outs coming through there for the Falcons to wing it in. You guys are trolling chat, I love it. I love it. As long as you keep it respectable, exactly as respectable as Brute Force is on to W7. I mean, Brute Force pushing up onto Potato Hill. W7 trying to hold on to Potato Hill. Well, Shayo saying they don't agree. Well, then give your prediction. That's the way it works, right? If you don't agree, give your answer. Meanwhile, it's going to be Brute Force now trying to find their way on in. Lathe now going to be looking to just plant their flag. Saying this is my Potato Hill, you cannot take it. Oh, up comes the sprays exactly when I say that. So Lathe, well done, right on point. Let's see what's going to come through though. W7, very, very spread into one little shack. Very wide angle being held here by W7. Of course, I'm implying the opposite of that. But let's see now as the pushes come in. Especially the push from the zone. NIGMA kind of cornered in the circle here. You got to know that you're really good at, you know, playing a position when you can get cornered in the circle. Because, well, I'll let you figure that one out. In the meanwhile, Brute Force going to be heading further up north. In line with ONYX Ravens and the players there from KR. We got a little bit of something happening there to Slide Machine on the far eastern edge. So ONYX Ravens, a little bit of a 2-2 split. Don't mind if I do, right? R and Lathe coming in from that southern side, just looking to fortify their teams a little bit more. Alright, so it is a little bit of a showdown between the ONYX Ravens and the Brute Force team. The Birdies, meanwhile, down into shelter. You can see a serious case of hide and peek coming through there. Falcons and Triple running into each other as well. Ooh. Lathe running into a bit of lead, but instead it is Brute Force getting met with even more of it. As Neos and Ado could now be in a world of trouble. Oh, that's mine. Never mind me. See if Neos will make it. No, they won't. ONYX Ravens just locking it in. Wow. I mean, they are just pitching up so dang aggressively. I mean, they already got a 20-point elimination game under their belt for the day. What are the ONYX Ravens going to look to do even further now? I mean, KR could be looking to play a bit of an upset here. That could definitely be on the cards. But a very sweaty play across the board. I mean, we've gone from 16 down to only 13 teams. As you do say goodbye to 3, right? Quest, Vision, Conqueror, all getting packed up. Note, I didn't say Twist, so Shayo, you are safe, right? Don't stress. But all 3 teams that we said goodbye to are shipped out with 3 eliminations to their name. So that is a very impressive closing for them. Of course, now things to ease up quite a bit here. Slime Machine also out with 3 eliminations. Seems like there's a little bit of a habit being created here, right? Step up, go spray, go crazy. Get yourself 3 elims and then run to the lobby. It's like, you know what, it's enough. Thank you so much. Very good play coming through from Vision though. Oof. That's easy. Yeah. Locking in on target. I mean, Triple, the only team here that has not settled for 3 elims. Instead, they were like, you know what? Hey, let's go for more. Let's get 5 and see where we can stop. Next X, well, guess what? They're also on 3. Is that going to mean something? We don't know. Let's find out. In the meanwhile, it's going to be NASR pushing in on Twisted. Oh! Gangsters also going to be falling. So with that, we are down to only 10. Alright, so Twisted and Gangsters, unfortunately, going to be sent back with nothing to show with regards to those points. We do, however, see NASR now looking to just get quite aggressive. Ooh! Look at that! GEEKAY just ripping it up now. Finding quite a bit of a play into the side of Next X. Alright, so let's see what this one is going to do, though. NIGMA, they are creeping up on the side of the... Oh, no. No, Lord, no! No, Lord, no! I hope the lobby is ready, because Lord has got an MG3 in their hand. Oh, my Lord. That is going to be quite the upset. I hope someone finds Lord along the way. Let's see. Ooh, come on, triple. Yeah, look at Salam, though. Thanking triple for the contribution. Damn is so low on health. If someone coughs over in Lubbock, that could mean the end here for Dam. Oh, good play, though. I mean... Triple picking up 6 eliminations. Wow. NASR, they're going to be closing up the Falcons. It's a pretty good representation coming through on that end. I mean, NASR now already sitting on 7 eliminations to their name. They still have that full entire squad. KR on 4 eliminations as well. NIGMA on 3. GEEKAY on 2. But we are going to be heading into that next zone pretty quickly. Alright, so nice bit of a shift there. I sincerely hope that someone can stop Lord before that MG3 really lets loose. Because if Lord uses that thing, that is going to be quite a bit of a disaster for the rest of this lobby. But here we go now. It is going to be showtime. NASR getting ready to just prep themselves for even more of a play. Looking to just absolutely dominate this eastern side of zone. KR going to try and maybe bounce back a little bit more. Ado, last one left for Brute Force, just going to be playing a serious game of let's not do anything, right? Just keeping it, keeping themselves out of harm's way. I mean, I'm not saying anything about Lord cooking, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that chicken tastes amazing, right? Oh, thanks, Dylan Star. Maybe just watch the language a little bit, right? Maybe not hit them words up. But in the meanwhile, let's see now as GEEKAY. You can't talk about poop. You can't say the word poop out loud. It's a no-no. In the meanwhile, up comes NASR, looking to find a little bit of a no-no onto the side here of KR. Oh, no, there we go. Vigors Hassan down. Salum now going to try and hold it steady. Keep it all together. Oof. NASR playing such a beautiful match. Already sitting up on 11 eliminations. Hey, there we go. If you were curious as to whether or not NASR are going to be looking to play a game in such a way that they could potentially try and solidify their point on the leaderboard, well, there you have your answer. The action is going to be coming in. GEEKAY now looking to push over into, well, maybe the northern side. Definitely up in towards the west. But they are going to be fishing for a little bit of a position here. Ado now just hidden in the bushes. Oh, oh, no, no, no. Keep quiet, Ado. Keep quiet. Don't do anything. Oh, but that is going to be such an upset. Ragnar stepping on Ado's fingers. Ado, just don't play. Just hold. Just hold. Just hold. Ado, not just peeking. Even Santa not seeing them. I mean, this is the best case of hide and seek that we've ever seen come through. Ado, just time that shot. Just time that shot to perfection. Oh, you gotta watch out for Hope. Yes, finds a bit of a spray. One down, open it up. Oh! Man, they tried. You gotta give it up to Ado. That was an amazing attempt. Ado. But here we go, on to our final 3. NIGMA on 11. GEEKAY on 4. On NASR on 11. NIGMA on 3. GEEKAY on 4. It's a sneaky snake, yes. Sneaky snake there in the grass. In the bush. That's an ambush. Oh, Xenox finds Santa. Down goes Ragnar. Come on, NASR. You can get it. Only hope, right? That's all they need to get to make it end for GEEKAY here. But Lord is going to start cooking it up. You can see that MG3 now being prepped. You can even hear it. Way off in the distance. That is going to be the end. Oh, there we go. Xenox gets the play. 9 eliminations. Xenox, it's cooking up. But now it's going to be NIGMA and NASR to show down for this final play. This winner with a chicken dinner is just around the corner. Who's going to clutch it out? I feel very, very torn at this point. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yep, this is Coops now just looking to pick up the pace. It's only going to be J7 on this front line. Oh, holding right up ahead of them. That push is going to come through from Spec though. Down goes Spec. Now it is only Xenox and J7 trying to clutch this one out. Oh, the MG3 Lord doing its thing. NASR could still have this one in the bag. They just got to find the angles, but unfortunately it does seem like NIGMA is going to be looking to kick them to the curb. It's now down to Xenox. The play comes through, the shotties come out. It is now Xenox trying to defend against shotguns galore, and that is it. The final hit has been played. NIGMA Galaxy walk away with that winner chicken dinner. But you got to give it up to NASR. Trying to play the game of ONYX Ravens from before. Walking away with 16 eliminations. I mean, what on earth is going on? I've lost everything. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right? What an impressive performance that was coming through from the side of NASR. 16 eliminations. I mean, that is going to solidify them on that leaderboard. There's no arguing that, right? I don't think NASR will have to worry about anything anymore. At least not for today. They've done what they could. Really just locking in those points. And of course, getting so close to clutching that winner chicken dinner. NIGMA playing what NIGMA plays, right? They came in there. They came with the upset. They came in with the intention to claim themselves that winner chicken dinner. They did so with a pretty impressive tally, though. At least still securing themselves 7 eliminations. So a very, very good play coming through from NIGMA. But, you know, we got to give credit where it's due. I mean, those eliminations for NASR, they just look so tasty. But yeah, Xenox again coming through with a very, very aggressive performance. But of course, we are going to be taking a look at our entire breakdown of everything. First up, we are going to be starting with our match breakdown to see exactly where our teams are with regards to those points on board. Of course, you can see there a lovely 22-pointer being claimed by the side of none other than NASR. So even though they didn't get the winner chicken dinner, they seal our hearts as they end up at the top of the board. Twisted and Gangsters, well, they're going to have to settle for donuts as everyone else got 3 points. Everyone else, all the way from 8th place down to 14th. It is 3 points across the board. So there's definitely something happening, right? I'm not quite sure what it is, but something happens. Enox coming through with 9 elims, the most damage, 2 of which has been eliminations. And then, of course, we got a little bit of that KR and NIGMA spice in there as well. Raouf coming through with the greatest distance, and Salom 1 meter away from hitting 300. But a very insane play from NASR. I mean, that catapults them now with regards to statistics, right? Really, really strengthens their show. I mean, look at that, 28-38. Yeah, there's nothing to hate about that. Beautiful play from NASR, 16 eliminations up. I mean, they even have the highest conversion rate, right? So mad respect going out to NASR for that one. Finding 16, wow. I mean, it was about time. It was about time for NASR to step up like that. Just look at these plays. I mean, that play from Ado, that could have been such a beautiful upset. Especially if Ado was able to find those plays into the side of GEEKAY. I mean, that would have been brute force smiling for days. But even regardless of that, brute force still was able to secure themselves those 6 points as we saw. So, you know, maybe a little bit of hiding in a bush is not the worst thing you can do, especially when you have the players from NIGMA essentially then standing on your fingers, standing on your toes. Very, very exciting performance indeed. Let's take a look at the phased rankings. As you can see here, NASR now, as a result of this last match, moved up into second. NIGMA jumped up 3 slots up into that 4th position. GEEKAY, ONYX Ravens, Quest, and IKURD, they've not moved, right? No movement coming through. The rest of the teams, though, of course, getting shifted ever so slightly. As we take a look at the second page, Slime Machine and W7 also with a beautiful upward trend. Both teams making a glorious 2-slot jump up into 10th and 11th place, respectively. Then, of course, well, nothing else has changed, right? We've only seen 4 teams make any major shifts this time around. But the other thing that we are going to be looking at is as to whether or not anything has really happened with regards to our overall rankings. I think that is the big question, right? Now, to answer the big question, the answer is no. Nothing changed on the overall rankings. Aside from points coming through, no one changed position, no one changed anything. It is still essentially what it was, right? NASR up in 14th place, so they are not really in the danger zone anymore, especially seeing that W7 is 30 points behind. But as we know, you know, that still doesn't give them enough security. They still have to maintain quite a bit of focus, especially moving through the remainder of the day, and then also moving into tomorrow's matches. But moving into match number 4, NASR, they're not going to be playing this game as they're on Group B, so they are going to be sitting this one out. But yes, looking at the rest of the teams, though, I mean, W7, 151 points, E-SPORTS, 249 points. Right, there's a pretty close gap between that, of course, 2 points, right? But then we drop down into 17th, which is 11 points away. So there's still a bit of an opportunity for the ARB champions maybe to step up with a bit of a performance, maybe just get themselves secured into that play, but it's all going to rely on what Triple is going to be bringing to the battlefield. Now, as we know, match 4 of the day, aside from Group B sitting it out, this is also then the last one for Group A. So GANGSTERS, NEXT, NIGMA, and Twisted, it's up to here, right? The final dose of Erangel is going to be the one to close it off, right? And then, of course, we are going to be jumping in with a little bit of that Sanhok action to see what our teams are going to be bringing in. But if you've got any thoughts, any predictions, right, let me know. You know the spiel, right? So if you want to pop anything out, let me know indeed. Let's see, anything interesting that we have in chat. If you want to ask anything, you know, if you want to know anything with regards to points, anything with regards to statistics, ask me. Ask me. So NIGMA, as a result of this last match, they've also now jumped up onto not only 5 winner chicken dinners, but 208 total points when it comes to this lovely map, right? So that is a pretty insane performance. NASR, they've now moved into 3rd place for Erangel, doing so without a single winner chicken dinner. They are sitting on 156 points, just 3 points behind GEEKAY, who are sitting on 159. So that is pretty dang impressive. And I mean, NASR definitely now the second team when it comes to aggression, sitting on 115 elims, where NIGMA Galaxy have 126, so only 9. That is very, very cool to see. Of course, as we know, moving into this match, We've already mentioned the teams that are going to be sitting it out. So with the teams that are out on the battlefield, the highest position team that does not yet have the luxury of a winner chicken dinner is going to be IKURD all the way in 8th for Erangel, sitting on 125 points. They share that position with ARB champions. Both of them sitting on 125, no winner chicken dinner, but very, very strong performances. So it's all going to boil down to this match, whether or not either of them could be looking to replicate a bit of success here, maybe secure themselves a bit of an opportunity, but I'm especially waiting to see what ARB are going to be bringing in. As I mentioned before, they are so close. They can definitely look to close that gap and get themselves situated up in towards 16th. And especially seeing that, they are going to be going toe-to-toe with Triple. There's a lot. There's a lot that could happen here. What do we have? What do we have? No questions coming through. No predictions coming in. Oh. It is what it is, right? In the meanwhile, we are going to be hopping into the game to see exactly what that zone and flight path is going to be giving to us. And of course, where our teams will look to get themselves situated. But of course, it is going to be go time. So there's the last chance. Want to drop predictions? Get them in before we make our transition into the flight path. Time is running out. NASR set it out. Yeah, they're sitting this one out. They're coming back in the next one for match number 5. But speed about 5, we're going to go from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Boop, here we are. Right back in the action to see what our final Erangel of the day will hold. Brute Force all the way is what I'm seeing there. Shout out for Twisted Minds. Getting the Brody Furdies. Gatka flight path. I mean, this is a flight path, 100%. Gatka, not so much. Not so much. I mean, it's a valiant effort. Nice try. To Lipovka. Ooh, Gatka to Lipovka. I mean, that could have been a very, very interesting one to see, actually. Maybe later, right? Maybe later. But definitely not now. Who knows? Maybe that could happen in tomorrow's 2 Erangels that we are going to be having. I mean, certainly you got to commend the effort, right? Oops, wrong flight path. I mean, that's why I don't even try to predict these things anymore, because I almost always get this wrong. Gatka zone is the prediction that we have coming through there from Moyes. Hey, on the money. Let's see. Yes! There we go. There we have it. Moyes just showcasing a little bit of that talent. Showing us how to call a zone. It is Gatka smack dab center. And then Moyes goes like, oh, maybe a Rozok zone. No, you got it. Stick to your first choice. Stick to your first choice. In the meanwhile, if you've got any other predictions, where do you think it's gonna end, right? Do you think it's gonna go Quarry? Do you think it's gonna go Ferry Pier? Maybe George, North George, South George, Ruins? I've got a feeling that it's maybe gonna pull into Ruins. You see that little bit of field between Gatka and Ruins? There's a little shapey thingy there. I think maybe there. Oh, Epic Reno. Down they go. Georgeable end zone. I mean, that could be exciting. End on Quarry is another one that we've got coming in. Hospital and the west end of South George. Ooh. Alright. Alright. Let it flow. Let it flow. In the meanwhile, let's see what the ARB champions are going to be bringing up into the lovely Stelba. They have found quite a bit of W7 already. So R8, Falcons, ARB already sitting with their first eliminations up. Gangsters, Next X, and W7 already down 1. Between Gatka and Ruins. Ooh. Yeah, I mean that's where I'm going for as well. Right, that's it, that little shapey thingy. In between Gatka and Ruins. That's exactly Alright, so you can see quite a bit of aggression coming in across the board. Yakuza and Hero are going to be trying to at least uphold a bit of aggression here. Waleed quite a distance away, so they won't be able to assist their teammates. Oh, and this is... Oh, beautiful hit there from Ricard, but that health bar is so low. I mean, I'm not quite sure, is that 1 or 0.5? Oh. Yeah, that is a very, very close call. Meanwhile, it's going to be the Gangsters and Conqueror getting ready for a little bit of a showdown here, as they are going to be fighting it out on towards the north. It could be short-lived because we do have the ONYX Ravens also now venturing up in this direction. Alright, so quite a few upsets that we've seen, especially this phase. Oof. Effortless hit though coming through from Kevin. That was crazy. And crazy got ended all at the same time. Now it's up to Shaco, J9 and Tiger. Oh, but you gotta watch out. Yeah, here comes the ONYX Ravens. No, actually it's a buddy from the Gangsters. Wow, I never even saw a buddy's position. Oof, beautiful nade. Beautiful nade. Now it is down to just J9 is going to be looking to hold on. This could be our first team out for this match. Oh, oh, oh. J9 managing to survive, managing to dodge and evade. Oh, they've been dipping, they've been diving, they've been ducking. But unfortunately, they will not be able to dodge their way through. They will have to go out. But a good play coming through from the Gangsters. ONYX Ravens now going to be waiting in the wing. I feel like the ONYX Ravens are one of those teams that you kind of want to try and evade. Right? You really want to avoid them because they've been able to secure themselves 22 eliminations in just 2 matches. Not today, of course. But in just 2 matches, they've been able to secure themselves 42 points. Yeah, boys, I agree with you. If it's J9 and J7, it's going to be a numbers game. Right, that is what it will be. Right, now we wait to see what the rest of the teams are going to be doing, right? Will we see ONYX Ravens potentially maybe jump in on the Gangsters? I think it is maybe safe to say that it's going to be a no, as they can't quite reach. Maybe land a few hits, but I don't think that is going to be sufficient. In the meanwhile, ONYX Ravens now, all they can do is run, use them legs, because I believe most of the vehicles have already been taken away from them. They do have ARB a little bit further down south. We can still have Next X and the Falcons holding up in towards Yasnaya Poliana. Waleed now going to be just encroaching, coming through from that northeastern side. But here we go. Falcons are going to be playing a bit of the waiting game. Yeah, nobody's unstoppable, especially when it comes to the big bad blue zone, right? That thing is... That's the only thing that's unstoppable. That's the blue zone. Unless it glitches, which it sometimes does, right? Hasn't glitched in a while. Let's touch wood on that one. But, yeah. It is going to be consistent, though. It is going to be just eating away at the health bars. In the meanwhile, we are going to be looking at that flight path for the drop. The loot coming in. GEEKAY not in this match. Quest, though, they are going to be holding up onto center position. GEEKAY coming through with a beautiful 22-point lead currently in the phase. So there could be a bit of an opportunity now maybe for NASR to see if they can go for another 20-pointer. But of course, that will have to come through on Sanhok, as, well, NASR is also not here. So we've got R8 now setting themselves up onto Everest. We got RTG, NIGMA. Ooh, NIGMA moving in behind Quest. We got Triple and IKURD now rotating up from that eastern side. Sly and Twisted also rotating up together. Falcons and NXX still standing off. No one's going to be rotating just yet. A lot of aggression here from IKURD though. I mean, all of that just for a little bit of parking, and they're not even satisfied with the parking. They're going to continue to move elsewhere. I mean, well, if you feel like you have to, IKURD, then just continue onwards, right? 2 eliminations already to their name. GANGSTERS also now having quite a bit of ground to cover. We do say goodbye to Waleed. Oh, as the shot is in. That is not very, very nice. But, you know, it's got to happen at some point. Someone has to bite the bullet. In the meanwhile, it is going to be up to KR to see what they can make happen all the way from the edge here. Pretty close to Ruins. IKURD, though, they are going to be rushing in on result. Oh, and as a result, yeah, Triple gets taken on down. It is done. 14th place it is. Not a single point to their name. Saad is going to be falling to the blue zone as well. Just quite the turnaround for the ONYX Ravens. ARB also just dipping their toes in that zone as they come rotating past Cube. Gonna be looking to maybe pull a little bit closer towards Everest. Let's see if they are going to be contesting the top of the hill. Well, they're definitely looking there. So far, so good. NXX and Falcons still out in the blue. Not quite sure what the play is. I mean, Falcons can definitely do with the points. NXX could also do with the points, right? There's only 1 point currently separating these two teams. At least coming into this match. NXX now on 1 elimination, Falcons on 2. So essentially they are... They're pretty much tied. Both teams sitting on exactly the same points. I mean, NXX leading by 1 over Falcons, but Falcons, they've got 2 eliminations. NXX, they've got a 1. So it's a tie with regards to points. So I'm not quite sure why that is the approach from them. I mean, surely they would want to get themselves into that zone. Speaking about wanting to get into zone, that is going to be the attempt coming through here from the ONYX Ravens. As they do lose R. Lath now trying to make that last ditch play. So not quite sure what is going to lie ahead here for Lath, but they are definitely going to be looking to maybe to sneak their way into a bit of an angle. Oh, alright. We got ARB champs right here alongside them. But it seems like ARB are going to be maybe keeping their eyes focused on that Everest positioning. Alright, so things quite surprisingly quiet. So not a lot really happening at this point, right? We do see NXX and Falcons rotating up. ARB now looking to get themselves situated at least on the edge. Up comes the GANGSTERS looking for a bit of a position over on towards the western side of zone. We've got Twisted Minds, of course, right here with them. So good to have a little bit of action. Oh, oh yes. Oh yes, here we go. Dummy, AZ getting ready to show off against Jafar and Kevin. It's now a 3v2. When we have the rest of Twisted now join in. Oh, there we go. The opener is there. The opener is there. Oh, Evo Station finds it. Jafar just dipping out of dodge as they have a pretty good idea of what was about to go down. I mean, and just in the nick of time, not having a lot of health left to make any major plays. RTG going to be looking to make a little bit of noise there as well, holding onto their compounds up on Everest. It is going to be the sign of R8. As we wait for the zone to pop, you can see Next X and Falcons still making their way through. At least two of the Falcons, they've been able to catch up to zone. Don't worry now. Well, really has to worry. All the way out. Being the furthest player currently from that zone. And of course, they are brought to their knees, so you know it's gonna work out at least a little bit for someone. Not quite sure who, but you know it's gonna go somewhere. In the meanwhile, it's gonna be Twisted and RTG now finding each other over on towards that western side. Reva about to experience a little bit of aggression. Falcons also now slowly getting devoured by the blue. I think a little bit of a oopsie on their end. In the meanwhile, we will continue to look at our remaining teams. We got Slime Machine and IKURD all the way on that far southeastern side, right? No one really there to contest them. No one really there to play upset. But if the gangsters are going to be looking to secure themselves a few potential points, Jafar needs to make a little bit of magic happen. As we know, they are going to be ending their run for the day right here. Meanwhile, ARB, they'll be continuing on into that last match of the day. NIGMA don't have that luxury. So they can maybe look to go out with quite a bit of a bang here. ONYX Ravens also now finding themselves in a bit of a sticky situation, as they will have to settle for nothing but 13th position. I mean, that is quite strange in comparison to the performance that we had a little bit earlier. Hasnayan, thank you for the comments. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Love you, lonely commentator. I'm not lonely, I'm solo. There's a difference. They imply very similar things, but I'm not lonely. I have all of you here. And of course, our lovely players and all the action that they are bringing to our screens right now. Oh, yeah, that's it. Falcons getting their wings clipped. Out they go. It is going to be a 12th place with only 2 eliminations to speak of. Meanwhile, NIGMA still looking to hold on. Find himself in a little bit of a risky spawn here. Ooh, there we go. RTG now looking to make things happen. Oh! But the Coop's not going to let any of that slide, as RTG will now have to pay for their transgressions. Oh! Zakaria Rio down! It's all now reliant on Revo. Thank you, Asnine. Satura, no stress, no stress. It is going to be a little bit of stress for ARP champs, though. I mean, only 4 eliminations up, 10th place, so no placement points for them. Of course, the situation is going to tighten up considerably over on towards the southwestern side, with Twisted now flying into the pie. Looking to see if they can find a bit of the action. Maybe at the expense of NIGMA. It might not be intentional, but we'll see where this is going to go. Finally, they resized. Realized. I mean, same thing, right? Not really, but sure. Let's see what Twisted are going to do, though. Will they have it? Will they possess the capabilities? As Cindy made a little bit of a boo-boo. I also make oopsies and boo-boos, don't worry about that. Anas, good to see Anas out on the battlefield. Good play coming through here from IKURD. Finding a few much needed hints. But unfortunately, IKURD, well, I mean, they only got those 4 eliminations and didn't get past 11th. But, you know, valiant effort nonetheless. Meanwhile, KR finding a bit of a play on towards next X. It's now down to Mexico. Yeah, I think that's kind of the, Shayo, I think that is kind of the only way to exhaust the side of, yeah, the side of NIGMA. As we do see Mexico sliding down the hill. Of course, also then sliding themselves back into that lovely lobby. Gangsters also going to be sent out in 6th place, though, with 5 eliminations to their name. But yeah, I think that's the only way to tire out NIGMA Galaxy is have them just fight relentlessly against so many different teams. And then maybe, just before they fall asleep, you have the opportunity to jump in and just flash them out of there. KR now trying to find a little bit of magic down on towards Sly. Again, reaching all the way across that zone. Team NASR all day, every day. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're gonna do. I think NASR is gonna do really well in this match, right? The one that we're watching right now. I think NASR are gonna get the winner chicken dinner in this game. Just watch. Just watch. If you believe anything of what I just said, good luck. But in the meanwhile, let's look at our teams that are actually in this lobby, that are actually participating right now. It is going to be KR, Quest, NIGMA, Twisted, and Sly. Sly having a beautiful blessing down towards that southeastern side. And of course, they can just casually, leisurely stroll their way back in towards the zone. Twisted, they have a great opportunity to gatekeep the living heck out of NIGMA. I mean, they've got the numbers advantage. They've got the zone at their back. But do they have the focus and determination, the commitment to get themselves that winner chicken dinner? I'm not trolling. I'm just saying things. In the meanwhile, let's see if this is going to be the case now. Twisted. Are they been able to find this? I mean, this could be... If they just utilize this play... If Twisted just utilized this play, they could very well get the jump in. But I think they might have given NIGMA a little bit too much time here. As you can see, they are back on their feet. And this could be... Oof. This could be a little bit of an upset. This could potentially be a little bit of an upset. I mean, maybe now with Quest rolling in, there could be a bit of a surprise. Who knows? Oh, Alhache Fahidan rushing in. No, they're going to be met with open barrels. Ooh! Alhachi, though, does find a hit. Anas is on their knees. Down they goes. Raouf follows through with the confirmation. Coops now looking to spring into action. Easy Kante. Also sneaking their way on up. I'm not quite sure if I'm enjoying this play coming through from Twisted, because they are essentially now down to Dami. They could very well get that res in on towards Evo Station, but I mean, I think that was a missed opportunity to get the play onto NIGMA. Come on, oof. Alright, Easy still in the mix. It's not going to be easy for Quest though. Raouf, look at that health bar. I mean, that's going to be so scary. It's going to be so scary. But here we go. Yeah, down goes AZ. Raouf managing to not worry too much about the bar, as they do push that bar all the way back up to a safe spot. Now, I think NIGMA are going to come back with a vengeance here. NIGMA, one of those teams, if you give them too much of an opportunity, they are just going to take everything and then some. So very heavy fight going through on the edge of zone. I mean, we did see a little bit of something happening there between KR and Sly. What's up with these health bars? Yeah. Up comes NIGMA. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Easy claps. Quest out in first, 4 elims to their name. Twisted sitting with 4 as well. NIGMA on 9, Sly on 8, KR on 7. Who is it gonna go though? Up comes the push. Come on, Evo Station. Oh! Crazy back and forth, and up comes Dammy with a little bit of that DBS. But again, the health bar not looking all too great. Ooh, Koops with a big upset. Beautiful placement on that nade though. Up comes the push. Koops now fishing, and they do succeed as they land a big one. That is going to be 11 eliminations now for NIGMA Galaxy. Unfortunately, Twisted, well, I have to settle for only 4 in 4th place. Sly also going to be sitting here on 8 eliminations. KR still holding on to the 7. Yeah, I think a lot of these players got their booster shots because, as we saw, right, they get hit by nade, but then they bounce back. Speaking about bouncing back, KR gets bounced back into the lobby as it's now NIGMA and Sly Machine. It's a 1v3. Attacker, there we go. Yes, sir. Attacker closes it up, and there we have it. I mean, you know, it was worth a shot. Worth an attempt. But Sly Machine, well, they don't need any attempts as they secure themselves the victory here. And of course, a very, very exciting performance. Closing it off with, I believe, these points. Man, it's 11, right? If you couldn't figure that out, I'm sorry, but it was 11. Right, so that is game number 4, done and dusted. As, well, a few of our teams now played the last match of the day, but a very glorious run coming through for the side of Sly Machine, who've not exactly ended their run here. They still have another opportunity, another chance to lock in even more points. But what a play, though. I mean, NIGMA going out with a bang, right? They just ensured that they were an absolute nuisance, securing themselves the points, currently sitting on 41 for the day. So that is pretty impressive. I believe that's, what, 21 eliminations in total so far. And that's where they're going to be closing it off. Also, then walking away with that winner chicken dinner. But the opportunity is still there for NIGMA to maybe steal the show, because they're only trading by 3 points for the day. Speaking of points, it's that time, right? Let's get right down to the point here. It is going to be 11 eliminations for Sly and NIGMA. 21 and 17 points respectively. And then, of course, the next heavy hitter up is going to be IKURD-E-SPORTS. And there we have it, right? GANGSTERS also sneaking their way on through with 5 eliminations. Moving on to the next bit. ONYX Ravens, Triple Esports, W7 and CONQUEROR Iraq will conquer nothing but the donut shop. It is a steal coming through here from Koops. So this is where we say Koops. There it is, right? Getting 6 eliminations, 817 damage. 2 of those eliminations was as a result of beautiful utilities being placed. And then, of course, Steezy coming through with a glorious long range hit, 360 meters. But Ali and IKURD also trying to make a little bit of a wave here, right? They were able to secure themselves those 4 eliminations. And then we went into a little bit of a different situation here, right? A different place, because things just kept quiet up here between Twisted and NIGMA. I definitely believe if Twisted stepped it up a little bit earlier and instead of you know, letting NIGMA get back on their feet, things could have changed up quite a bit. Here we have it. Let's take a look at that again. Oh. Yeah, 13 sending about, well, 30 rounds to try and get those hits confirmed. Arcaravo. Who are you talking about? Beautiful play though. NIGMA Galaxy Slime Machine, but it was a very heavy hand on the Slime Machine side of things, right? 2062 versus 1951. 1951, that is very long ago. 62, that's still coming, right? Maybe it's around the corner, who knows? But either which way, a very, very valiant effort from Slime Machine, sliding their way into that winner chicken dinner. You gotta love it, right? I mean, these teams keep on playing the upsets. Now, this is what I like, especially about this phase, right? Phase 1, Phase 2, I wouldn't say predictable, but it was easy to kind of see what was gonna happen, right? To some extent. This phase, whew, it's not, right? So many surprises coming through. We've got teams just popping out of nowhere, you know, just lighting it up, going absolutely crazy. We did see, of course, a team like ONYX. No, it's W7, was it yesterday when we were over on Miramar? ONYX Ravens, W7, one of those two stepped up and just major upset, right? Took down NIGMA. But of course, speaking about upsets and crazy things, look at this, right? We've got the lovely GEEKAY team hold up in pole position, so no one being able to touch them, at least not for the time being. Still holding on to a 16-point lead. NIGMA Galaxy, though, jumping up all the way into that lovely second position. Sly, they've also they crept their way on up into 7th. Looking at this page, though, it's going to be ARB up by 2. KR also up by 1, swapping places with Falcons. So, yeah, I mean, it's happening, right? It's happening. Things are definitely starting to show here. But, of course, if we look with regards to the overall standings as well, right? NIGMA, they've climbed to the top, right? They've just gone, boop, right? Now sitting on 505 points. What a way to close it off. Well, at least close off day 4, right? They still have one more day to go, but NIGMA ending on 505 points all the way on day, 14? Well played. GEEKAY sitting on 499. Both of them sitting with 9 winner chicken dinners. That is pretty insane. Then, of course, Slime Machine, they've now jumped 3 slots all the way up into 6th place. And as a result of them jumping, Vision moved from 7th down into 9th, and Falcons moved into 7th. So, yeah, that is pretty fun. Speaking about fun, let's look at these stats. As we can see, GEEKAY coming through with a pretty fun, insane, crazy play when it comes to their overall performances here. I mean, I'm sure this is essentially exactly what we are going to be seeing over on Sanhok, because this is what we're looking at, right? Our top 5 performers when it comes to the map of Sanhok. GEEKAY sitting with 87 illuminations. Or eliminations, whatever you want to call it. 87, that is pretty crazy. 3 winner chicken dinners. Out of the top 5, only 3 of them are going to be playing. So that is GEEKAY, Brute Force, and R8. They're going to be stepping up, having to prove themselves. So R8 sitting on 53 eliminations. We've got Brute Force sitting on 58. And then GEEKAY on 87. I mean, that is, what, 29? That's pretty dang crazy. That is absolutely insane. I'm not quite sure how they are able to lead with 29 eliminations over the competition. And I mean, they've only played 11, right? That's only 11 Sanhoks right? As you saw the stats there, sitting on 8 point something ridiculous. So GEEKAY, they have a very high probability of having a crazy play, right? An insane performance, maybe stealing the chicken dinner. Who knows? Who knows? But we are going to be looking at the players there from Group B, right? So Brute Force, GEEKAY, NASR, and Vision rejoining us back on the battlefield to close up our matches for the day to see who's going to be locking in that final fluffy chicken, right? Hopefully on Sanhok, we can see one of the teams getting a 20+ winner chicken dinner, right? 20 elimination plus chicken dinner. Because we've seen it now happen on Erangel twice. It happened on Miramar once. So what gives, right? Why is it not happening on Sanhok? Right? Who's going to be that aggressive team that gets the job done? Give me your prediction. Who do you think is going to be the team to bring the upset? Who's going to be the team to steal the show and land themselves a 20+ elimination winner chicken dinner on Sanhok? Is it going to be GEEKAY? Maybe like we saw yesterday. Oh, no, it's already happened. We need it on Miramar. But I mean, we're going to take it, right? We'll take it. Sanhok, bring it again. We saw that 23 elimination chicken from GEEKAY just yesterday. Sometimes I'm blind, right? See, I also make oopsies. It happens. It happens. But one oopsie that I'm definitely not going to make is the fact that we are going to be heading into zone, right? Right as I'm trying to explain what I'm going to do, I make another oopsie. But that's just life, right? It is what it is. So let's see if these teams are going to be committed to their drop locations. As we know, flight path, not all too important. Zone is going to be way more important for these teams and their potential success coming through in this game. Speaking of which, let's head right down into the action before these teams are going to be getting themselves situated here. All right. What is... All right, here we go. All right, zone does take quite a bit of time to reveal itself on this lovely map. But who's gonna play the upset? Come on. Any hot drops? No, nothing. We do have Kalaga a little bit. Ooh, wait. Look at that. W7 and KR. Yeah, they're going back into the lovely hot tin. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so we got the zone. We got the teams. We got a little bit of a taste for some early potential action. Yes, my English bundle gets depleted every now and then. I need to continuously try and top up my airtime because it happens. All right, come on, Batika. I mean, we've seen W7 and KR fight here so many times. Hey, we got Napoleon Bonaparte in the chat as well. Early match prediction. See, I keep on messing it up. My early match prediction, I'm gonna say... Oh. Falcons. DK said NASR. Sure. I mean, earlier I said, what was that? Conqueror? Yeah, I said Conqueror and someone else heard, what was it? Twisted? You know, it's like it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Who knows? Oops, NIGMA. Yeah, no, I'm a go for... I'm a go for the Falcons, right? I want to see them wing it. Unsaid. No, Cindy, there's nothing that can be unsaid. Even if you delete it, it's still been seen. Because I am looking at the chat. I am reading it. So the total points for NASR for the day that they've been able to secure. Let's take a look at that. Dun 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 dun. No, was it for NASR? Yeah, no, so Twisted. Yeah, Twisted sitting on 8 points. Leading into this match. Only 8 points. I mean, so we got 21, 17, 12, and then 8. So that's 4th place. 8 points is 4th place. Alright, R8 now is going to be at least confirming a little bit of that early game action. I mean, Slime Machine, unfortunately, you know, this is sometimes the trend that we see. The team that gets the winner chicken dinner in the first in the previous match, somehow, even in a place where they can't even see the names, right? Because it just says player this, player that. It doesn't say names or teams or anything. You only know once they get eliminated, right? So even when someone goes out, you don't really know who left. But even though all of those things are here, somehow the team that got the previous winner chicken dinner 9 out of 10 times finds themselves, as Cindy says, with the curse of the CD, the chicken dinner. So that to me is very, very interesting. A little bit odd. Not quite sure if it's on the team that something like that happens, but yeah, let's see. Hero zeroes out Ricard as they get the shot in, and that is it. So if you still want to drop predictions as to who you think is going to be getting that winner chicken dinner, I mean, like, my prediction is the Falcons. Right, either Falcons or Twisted. So Tiro, that doesn't mean anything at this point. Whether we're done with the stream or not, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We are all just humans, right? But yeah, so give your prediction. Do you think it's gonna be either Twisted or Falcons to get this winner chicken dinner? I think Twisted have a really good chance here. I really do think so. I mean, looking at their stats as well, they've already been able to get one winner chicken dinner. They sit with 52 eliminations and 25 total placement points. Alright, so I have someone confirming with me on the Falcons. No takers for Twisted, though. I mean, I just read you their stats. I mean, Falcons are sitting with 48 eliminations instead of 52, so 4 less. Oh, look at triple, though. They do find themselves a little bit of quest. Shout out coming in for Brute Force, though. Brute Force currently sitting with 58 eliminations and 37 rather placement points for 2 winner chicken dinners. It's a pretty good run. I know, boys. I know. I was trying to see if you were paying attention. Biased prediction, but time for NASR to step up and grab a winner chicken dinner. Ooh, alright. Well, we'll take that. I mean, NASR have almost double the amount of eliminations compared to their placement points that they've been able to secure so far. No, it's not a long night. I'm doing that on purpose. I'm having a bit of fun. I'm having a bit of fun, right? Because why not? Right? We're out here to make it entertaining for everybody. In the meanwhile, Triple could look to entertain themselves all the way down into that pie none. You need brute force. Oh, we need a brute force chicken. Come on, or else you stop. Sure, because that's exactly how it works. In the meanwhile, it's going to be crazy to see what happens between the Falcons and CONQUEROR Iraq. Now it's up to Shaker and J9 as Tiger's also been put on their knees. Ooh! Salam is down. Come on, get it. Nice. Come on, Pablo. Come on, Pablo. We just need Juan Pablo. Bandar could play quite a bit of an upset here, all the way from triple in that center zone. CONQUEROR Iraq is out. One elimination up. Falcons sitting with 4 to their name, but they are left with a potential 2-piece. Unless Pablo can get to Never Alone. Oh, Never Alone is alone. Well, not really though, right? Because he got other 2 teammates in the lobby as well. Either which way, triple going to be looking to play a bit of upset here onto RTG. Come on, Pablo. Come on, Pablo. Oh, yeah, never mind. Good play, though. Good try. I mean, Falcons at least 4 eliminations up. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Right, so let's look at the next team that could potentially be getting themselves their first winner chicken dinner. Right here, out on the lovely, lovely Sanhok. Now, the next team up is going to be the side of Vision. As we know, it's definitely not going to go to the side of Falcons. Even though, see, I was not alone. They got 2 shoutouts, 2 predictions. So we got RTG and R8. RRR. I'm sounding like a sea lion here. I'm robbing myself of my own words. Either which way, W7 gonna be playing a little bit parkour on the bridge while they wait for KR to rotate up behind them. ARB, they've already taken the plunge and pushed upwards and onwards. But again, a lot of ground needs to be covered. Especially by KR. Ooh. That's not looking good. Come on, Vision. Come on, Vision. You gotta stop ONYX Ravens. DMR chicken, yes. Alright, so Vision definitely not gonna have that winner chicken dinner. RTG, they've already had a chicken. They sit with 30 eliminations and 31 placement points. It's one of the few teams that have more placement points than they do have eliminations. Alright, so the next team up that needs themselves a bit of a chicken is going to be NASR, right? Because Falcons and Vision, they didn't seem up to the challenge. I mean, they tried, but unfortunately, the rest of the lobby was not having any of that. It's going to be GEEKAY now feeling a lot of that heat, feeling a lot of that spray. As Quest is on a mission. Let's see whether or not GEEKAY can get themselves out of the bushes. They're going to be hiding on the edge. While we wait on the edge of our seats. Alright, things are surprisingly quiet now. As you can see, we've already lost 4 teams, 5 players. Well, actually a lot more than that. We've lost 20 players. But 5 teams worth of players. So then the other team we're going to look at is Sly Machine. But we know what the outcome is for Sly, right? Then the next taker. Alright, so let's just talk about who needs chickens. I think that's easier to talk about. Right, so KR, they need a chicken. Triple needs a chicken. ARB needs a chicken. Then we need ONYX Ravens on the chicken. I don't know why that feels a bit... feels like they've already had a chicken, right? On Sanhok. But they haven't. But for some reason, I am pretty convinced that they have. I'm not quite sure though, but I mean 23 eliminations, and that was like they got all of that across the 10 that they've played already. Conqueror Iraq also needed chicken, but as we can see, that is not going to be the case, as you can't get a chicken all the way from the lobby. The next up is going to be W7 that eats one. We've got IKURD, Sly, NASR, Vision of Falcons. Obviously, not going to be able to contest for those plays. NASR need a chocolate chicken. I don't know what that really... I don't really know what that means. I also don't know what you mean by that. But, yeah, okay. Alright, alright. As we look onto the zone, it is going to be taking us a little bit further down towards that south-western side, right? W7 with a good bit of a position there. You can see Yakuza holding onto the compound in smack dab center. ARB on the edge. Just to see whether or not KR are going to be able to apply that pressure, apply that push. As this is game number 5 right now. You need to let it all loose. But who will be finding that success? Ooh, IKURD, ONYX Ravens, getting ready for a little bit of the action. So IKURD finding there we go. Finding the entirety of the ONYX Ravens. IKURD now already up onto 3 eliminations. That's going to be Quest. Looking to defend, but Brute Force are sneaking in on them. See, like, we're making predictions, but I think even though we're making predictions, it's probably not going to be what we think, right? Because we've been seeing that for the entirety of this phase. Right, teams who we think are going to score the chicken... Yeah, so what is the team that you would not imagine being in a position to get the winner chicken dinner? It's not fair if you go for one of the teams that are already in the lobby, right? Don't be like that. RTG, the meanwhile, going to be joining the lobby, so RTG is not one of the teams you can root for. Out of the surviving teams, right? Who would you say is the most unlikely team to get that winner chicken dinner? R8, Triple, KR, W7, NASR, IKURD, ARB, Quest, Broody Fruities, GEEKAY? Give your wildest prediction. Oof. Quest now getting the ended there as well. Getting sent out, so you got to take them off the list. So we are down to only 9. So out of our 9 remaining teams, give your wildest prediction. Who do you think is the team that you would not expect it, right? I mean, that's the approach that we need to take, I think, moving forward, moving into tomorrow. Is who do you think is the team that is unlikely to get a winner chicken dinner? Because maybe that could be on the money. Alright, so we've got a one call out there for W7 coming through. Alright, well, now let's find out how true that will be as Hero plays the angle from up above. Closing the performance here for R8. I mean, GEEKAY down to 1. ARB holding on to 3 players. So we got 3 teams on a full squad, right? That is KR right here, Triple, and NASR. Alright, so Cindy thinks that NASR are the least likely team to get a winner chicken dinner at this point. Okay, let's see how this one plays out. KR now going to be finding themselves in a bit of a situation, as we do have Vigors getting met with that confirmation. Ooh, Salom now getting traded. Hassan is down, so it's all now down to Batika. But Batika is much, much further down south, as we can see, just perched up on the hill. But here we go, the push, the rotation, the sneak is going to come through. As we follow in on ARB. NASR now feeling a little bit of that heat come through. The sprays up on ARB. Oh, look at that. Batika doing phenomenal work here. It's up to Smoker to see if they can hold the team together. Fortunately for Smoker, well, the smoke is out. Oh, but the hits are also out onto Batika. KR now in a world of trouble. And this is going to be the end, essentially, here for Batika, I believe, right? Because they don't have any meds. They got no way of adding more HP to that health bar. You see Mind also way off in the distance there for Brute Force. Yeah, having a little bit too much of that blue juice does end it for Brute Force as they get sent away with 3 eliminations up. Alright, here comes a little bit of a dance around the block. Ooh, J7 finds the head up into the golden there. Ali cooking that nade. Is it going to find the point? Ooh, it could be on the money. No, unfortunately it's not. Instead, it's going to be J7 are looking to capitalize. W7 finding quite a bit of a reach out onto triple. Again, playing off of that elevation. Let's see now what Xenox can bring through here. Ooh, tries to find Ali. GEEKAY, though, going out in 7th. Yeah, that is triple. Also now in trouble. They're getting wrapped up. Going to have to settle for 6th place finish to get down to our final 5. IKURD, KR, all held on a solo. NASR still also then. Oh! NASR getting taken down to none. Wow, just like that, we are down to our final 3 teams. So it's going to be between IKURD, ARB, and W7. So IKURD already up on 8 eliminations. Are they going to be finding a few more? Ooh, well, Smoker is down. Oh! Wow, Ali though, just carrying the team, locking in half the eliminations, but up comes Hero looking to play the upset. It's going to be between IKURD and W7 to lock in the last chicken of the day, and there it goes. W7 swooping in, claiming the top of the board here. Beautiful, beautiful performance coming through from the side here of W7. I mean, they've brought in upsets before, right? And they continue to bring in those upsets. So we gotta love what these teams are doing. There's so much sweatiness coming through in this last bit of Sanhok. But of course, quite a bit of a contrast to what we've been seeing come through from the rest of the days, right? I mean, still things pretty crazy, pretty wacky, but I think that is exactly what we're expecting to see, right? It is the final phase. It is, of course, also the second last day. And, well, now there's only 1 day left to go, right? Only 4 matches for each of our teams. We are going to be looking at 5 of those. And then, of course, after which we are going to be venturing into a little bit of living action to see what the last day of league stage is going to be bringing for our lovely, lovely teams here. Moise saying goodbye. Bye, Moise. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. For the rest of you, we are going to be taking a look at the match rankings to see exactly where the teams find themselves. We're going to be taking a look at our MVP. We're also going to be taking a look at our standings to see where the teams currently find themselves situated. But I can tell you from what I can see so far is that it was a glorious day for the side of NIGMA. 41 points. 41 points. NASR also securing themselves then a grand total of 38. So a very, very exciting play coming through there. We got 34, 33, 33, and then 30. So the top 6 teams really just cranking out points here. But of course, we need to see how all of that impacts our overall standings, right? Those points that I just mentioned, those were the overall rankings for the day. We are going to be heading into our phase rankings, and then I'll tell you what happened on the overall rankings, right? But that's going to come up pretty soon. Let's start with the match rankings. As we take a look at it, you can see 10 points going to the side of IKURD for eliminations and still finishing at the top of the board. Even though they came in second, they did come in quite hot, quite aggressively, right? A look for a little bit further down. It's going to be Vision and Sly, unfortunately, not with any points up. But again, instead of 3 points getting sent to the teams, it is instead going to be a lovely 4 pointers spread all over the place. So very upsetting bit of Sanhok action that we had here, right? Upsetting with regards to standings, right? It didn't upset anybody, as they all were quite happy to play. Ooh, Ali with a very, very good performance here. I mean, just locking it in. 5 eliminations up. Yeah, IKURD playing especially well in this game. Let's take a look at the damage. NASR coming through with 1500, then it's 1100 essentially across the board for IKURD, Triple, and RTG. But ARB then coming in with 900. The biggest conversion rate is going to go to the side of IKURD. 10 eliminations out of 1100. Only 1100 damage. Alright, so no surprise to see Ali sat where they are with the most eliminations, 2 of which, thanks to those utilities. Then Xenox with the most damage and bringing in those hits from the furthest away. That was, what, a crazy distance, right? 300 and something meters. So very, very impressive. Oh, 220, right? Probably helps if I read properly, right? Just a spelling error, whatever, it's numbers. 220 meter hit coming through on that one, so very, very good. Of course, in case you forgot who got all chickens today, we're going to be taking a look at it. Quest getting that first one, a 20 bomb being brought in by the ONYX Ravens. Of course, 30 in total. Also hitting some pretty impressive numbers with regards to the amount of eliminations. Then, of course, W7 taking the least damage out of all our teams here today. So here are our winners for the day. Very, very exciting stuff coming through. Of course, the next thing up that we are going to be taking a look at, I believe, is going to be our MVP. So if you've got any potential call as to who you think the MVP of the day is, let me know in the chat. Curious to see who you think it could be, right? For me personally, I don't know. Like, we've been seeing so many players step it up today. And it's always so difficult to predict exactly who it has been so far. But I must say, maybe it's going to be someone coming through from the ONYX Ravens, as they had that insane performance, right? That big, big clutch up. So I think that could be it. Whether or not that's going to be the case, well, let's find out as we jump in. It is none other than Xenox coming through from the side of NASR. There we have it. Beautiful to see that come in now. NASR having a phenomenal day. 28-21 being brought in on that end. I mean, NASR doing so much work in this phase. Got to appreciate all the efforts. 38 total points that they've been able to secure for the day. Only 15 placement points, all the rest, right? The other 23 points coming through on their eliminations. So very, very sweaty day. I think, in fact, actually, they got more eliminations than NIGMA, even though NIGMA is sitting at the top for the day. Right, here we go, taking a look at the overall standings. We're not going to be looking at phase. We're going to be jumping into the big score. It's 505 points for NIGMA, as they now reclaim pole position yet again. Right, beautiful points there. We love to see it. Well, they don't regain it, they hold on. Rather. So no change coming through on this first page, right? All the teams still in the same position they were before this last match. Looking onto the second page, IKURD, though, they did swap places with GANGSTERS. So GANGSTERS were in 12th place, but now it's the IKURD side holding onto that position. The rest of the board, no change. Triple still locked into 16th position. But as you can see, NASR, they've also now jumped up to 290 points. So a stark difference to where they were earlier today, right? If you remember, earlier today coming in, they were positioned, I believe, down in 15th. But as we progressed through the day, as we progressed through the action, they were able to solidify themselves with that glorious winner chicken dinner. Of course, they found their first chicken. Not today. But a very, very good play, though. So a lot of effort. Definitely coming through from a lot of our teams here. Of course, ARB, KR, and NEXX are going to be the only 3 teams aside from IKURD on that overall leaderboard that are in need of winner chicken dinners, right? Everybody else has already been able to secure themselves a few of those chickens, at least one at the bare minimum. So it's all going to come down to tomorrow. As we know, the teams are going to be fighting for top 12. They're going to be fighting for top 16. But in the meanwhile, they are also going to be fighting for contention here, right? Xenox Getting challenged there by Coops, but 1,000 damage difference. Okay, technically 900 and a bit of change, but you can round it up, say 1,000. Xenox coming through with the 13 eliminations versus the 10 from Coops. And then, of course, Xenox finding 13 assists as well. So a very, very good day. A very strong performance, a good showing coming through from all our teams. But yeah, there we have it, right? I believe that is essentially going to be pretty much it, right? We're not going to have anything else to look at here for today. It's a big pleasure, Cindy. Thank you so much. Of course, if you are interested, here is our prediction accuracy coming through from our casters. Legend and Almola right on the money, leading the charge. Getting 8 predictions right out of 78. Right, so these numbers, they look impressive, right? It says 8, it says 7, right? But that is out of 72 matches. Right, out of 72, they've been able to hit 8 on the head. Just shows you how challenging it is to get these predictions right. That's why I don't make predictions or really keep to them because, well, it's difficult. It's very, very tough. But yeah, that does put things into perspective, right? 8 out of 72. That's a steep one. That's a steep one. But of course, now speaking of 72, right? Tomorrow is the final 6 games. That's it. The final 6 games. Then we've played all 78 matches we needed to play. We needed to see who will be those top 12 teams securing themselves, or top 16 teams rather, securing themselves a position moving into the finals. So tomorrow, big day, right? Day number 5. So the first race is going to be for top 12 to see who's going to be making it into Lubbock to get an opportunity to secure themselves even more points. But it's also going to be a fight for the top 16. So I think the main contenders that we have in the running for that, based on the current points, I think it's going to be between Triple and ARB. Because looking at the point situation, they are separated by only 1 point. 1 point, right? The MVP of the day, Xenox, all the way from NASR, right? That is who our MVP is. So Dara, there you have your answer. It's going to be Xenox coming through with 13 eliminations for the day. And also hitting up some pretty impressive stats, as we saw a little bit earlier before as well. But of course, now speaking about impressive things, right? Tomorrow is going to be the day that we'll be going to be looking for all the most impressive things that we could be looking at. So be sure to join us for all the sweaty action that the last day of league stage is going to be bringing in for this season of PMPL Arabia Full Split for 2023. I haven't said that in a minute, but you know what? It is what it is. In the meanwhile, you know where to find us, right? So until then, I hope you all stay fresh. I hope you all stay frosty. And we look forward to seeing you all back again pretty soon. But yeah, that is going to be it from my side. So tomorrow is the day. Don't miss it. See you later.